Hello, everybody. Welcome back, Saints Nation, to this wonderful Tuesday evening. I'm your host, Theo, known as the Holy One. I'm joined by Gabriel today, and we have a League of Legends coming up. We have the Saints taking on Oklahoma Christian University. It's an exciting matchup. How are you feeling today?
Really excited for the match. I saw the last one. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be here, but I'm here today. I'm really excited to see how they're going to perform. Last match went really well. It was a 2-0 victory. Although, granted, in the second game, we won it by the skin of our teeth with an absolutely beautiful engage. But aside from that, we did really, really well. So I'm really excited to see how it's going to go next time and see how they're going to play this out today.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting match. Actually, we are going to get a chance to speak to a couple of players. We're going to have Alonzo and Miracle coming in. So come on, guys. We're going to have a quick pregame interview to talk to some of our last year players. So welcome, guys. How are you guys feeling? Yeah, coming to frame a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Well, now we're looking good. So a good start to the season, 1-0. 2-0 victory last week. Maybe a bit shaky in some parts of the game. What did you guys think you improved most in the last week from that game series?
I think team play got way better. I think everyone individually is super good. We're just lacking, the team play now because 3 rookies. But yeah, I think we're working on our team play. It's getting better and better. And today we're going to put on a show.
Yeah, absolutely. You got anything?
Yeah, so when it comes to the meta, I mean, ADCs are kind of no longer in the bot lane, but what are your thoughts on team compositions that are going to be, like, what are the priority bans?
Priority bans are pretty stale. I feel like NACE's, Garen, Smolder is still pretty good. I feel like Varus ADC is really good too. But yeah, there's not too many champions you can play bot lane right now. It's like Ashe, Varus, MF, Ziggs, stuff like that, but that's kind of it.
All right, cool. So, and those bans are just, like, in general or just bot lane?
Just for bot lane.
Okay, so you were talking about the Garen Nasus. Now, I know I saw that a little bit in the LCK. Last time I checked, those are supposed to be early game champions, and they're supposed to be low elo champions. So please explain to me what they're doing in high elo.
Yeah, I think the strength right now is like Doran Shield. It's really strong, especially when you go the Resolve tree secondary. Like going second wind and being able to just like shrug off like any poke you take from like mages, even enemy ADCs like in the mid lane. It's just so hard to punish these champs early game, and they just get free scaling and they just become monsters, as you've seen like in our previous games. Like this Smolder champ is just insane.
It's very with your engages on that rail, it makes that Smolder combo look so much better. You played so well last week, and on that rail, as I said, kind of being your signature champion. Think we'll be seeing more of that today, or are you guys going to spice things up?
Yeah, I mean, our team definitely operates well with engaged champions. Just having a go button makes the game like really, really easy, and I like making game-winning plays. So
yeah, absolutely. It was fun to watch. Before we let you guys go, let's get some quick predictions before the match from both of you. Let us know how you're feeling.
2-0.
2-0, not even close.
Okay,
Hey, there you have it, guys.
I like it.
Thank you guys for coming on. Good luck in your game.
Thank you.
Win it again. Take the 2-0. And we're going to be excited to cast you today. Take care, guys.
Alrighty. So, thoughts on, so like they were talking about a little bit, words are hard. They were talking a little bit about the meta, about the champions that are strong. Garen and Nasus just existing. God, those picks need to be nerfed, because when I play, right, because top main, which, of course, I deal with Nasus and Garen on, a daily basis. But here's the thing that I don't like about the two champions, right? They're late game champions that have a good, like, early laning phase, right? They have good healing. Garen, I mean, his passive is basically just, oh, I took poke, well, I don't care about it. Nasus, with his passive healing, really annoying to deal with, right? But you're supposed to be able to punish the early game so that you don't have to deal with their late game, right? You end early. So what happens is they have a strong early game and they have a stronger late game. Dealing with them is practically impossible. And with the LCK, we kind of saw that coming out a little bit, and now it's been getting into the meta. But what have you seen lately that have been, like, surprising?
I mean, yeah, the Garen and Nasus were not on my bingo card for what was going to be in the pro meta, but hey, it's an interesting game. We just got a huge patch, actually, the Worlds patch. I think it's
right.
live now. It's absolutely monstrous. I haven't even looked through all of it, but I saw like 15 champs buff, 15 champs nerfed. So that patch is absolutely crazy, and it's gonna be fun to watch these teams try and change up, figure out the meta. There's champs in there that got big changes that we're probably gonna see today. So I'm excited to see what kind of picks we really get to see.
Yeah, for sure. But the one thing that is really kind of annoying, right, is we have the lane system, we have the jungle, right, and all that stuff. But what we've been seeing a lot in the meta currently is ADCs going mid, and then mages going bot as ADCs, or, well, I guess APCs now.
Yeah.
Right, and one of the big ones was Tristana mid with Ziggs ADC. Because it shreds towers, right? Tristana is a known ADC for just, now you have a tower, now you don't. And Ziggs with the satchel charge instantly explodes them at 25% health, so you just shred towers even faster, plus the passive with the bombs. And he copped a nerf just recently, and he's still being used in pro play. So it just goes to show how strong taking those early towers is, and how strong the grubs are by extension,
Yeah.
right? So there is a little bit of a focus on melee champions that build attack speed, right? Because you can proc grubs more, you can take towers quickly. But there is counterplay to that, right? And that counterplay is centered around just champions that are able to hold that line or take priority over those grubs. So the grubs are going to be a big target for the game. And I'm really excited to see what jungle picks we're going to be seeing, right? Really early prio jungle picks, maybe? Or we're going to be seeing those more like late game scaly jungle picks that are going to say, well, you know what? We don't need the grubs because our comp doesn't need it. But again, you deal with the counterplay of, well, if we don't take the grubs, then they have the grubs and they have auto attackers, so they're going to be able to proc it, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. What are you excited for in this game?
Well, it's interesting if we get to see them play around the top side. I think Ricky might play a Darius or a Jax.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
And if they want to play for Prio with those grubs, they'll play some good mid laner. But if they decide to play like they played last week and pick the Smolder mid and just outscale the enemy team, I mean, they showed how good they could do that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see either or.
Yeah, the Smolder's a ticking time bomb,
Yeah.
right? Basically, you place your Smolder mid and you say, all right, so here's the deal, right, opponent? I have a Smolder. If you can't break my Nexus before my Smolder reaches 225 stacks, the game's over, I won. Good luck. That's all it is. It's basically just a win condition, all right? It's an alternate win condition. You don't even need to destroy the enemy Nexus. Smolder has 225 stacks. All right, we won. Like, the enemy team can basically FF at that point. So Smolder's super strong, but there is a condition to it. But I have yet to see a team that was able to shut down the Smolder early game to stop him from getting to his stacks. Because Smolder has a lot of conditions in which he can just gain stacks, right? If he hits abilities on champions, from his Q to his sneeze, I think it's his W.
Yeah, W.
If he last hits with his Q, like, that's 3 conditions that you have, one of which is minion based, the other 2 is just poke. Like, he can just spend his time poking and still make like a lot of stacks off of it. If you take a team fight, it's like, okay, great, we're taking a team fight. We're taking a team fight and there's a Smolder, which means that by default, there are more targets for him to hit with his AoE that is going to give him more stacks. So every team fight technically plays to his advantage. So it's so annoying to deal with because it's like, well, I want to take a team fight, but this guy's going to get more stacks. So is it really worth it?
In the long run, no, because as you said, Smolder, once Smolder stacks up, it's not too fun to play with. And with Miracles engages on the Rel, definitely made things a lot easier. They did miss a couple of combos. The Rel ult hit and then the Smolder ult missed. So if they pull it out again this week, I think that's one little thing they can improve on that will make their game a lot easier. What are your thoughts on that?
Definitely trying to look for those wombo combos for sure. But wombo combos aren't the only thing you need to look for, right? Because they have conditions, right? It's like the Nocturne Orianna combo.
Yeah.
It's great, but you need to have follow-up on it. So we're going to be heading straight into draft here as the Saints are going to be starting off on red side, Oklahoma Christian on the blue side. I'm really interested to see what these bans are going to be, what bans are going to come out, what the decisions are going to be for priority, right? We usually see bot and mid getting priority on the picks, and then top jungle kind of being last picks, more for less for, oh, I don't want to get counterpicked, more for like, okay, we need to make sure that these priority picks are picked beforehand, right? We're kind of going back to like the previous seasons where you wanted to pick your champion first, where being first pick was the best, because there was such a small champion pool, right? And then now we have bans and stuff, and you want to be last pick because you don't want to get counterpicked. But we're back into that kind of area where there's only so many champions you can pick now, because most of the other ones aren't, you know, high level viable. I mean, I would love for them to pick Sona, but let's be honest, that's never going to happen, even though she's getting her Victorious skin this season. It's, come on, Riot, please make Sona viable. Anyways, point is, priority bans are probably going to be centered around the Ziggs, Tristana probably. I've been seeing some Azir being banned in the LCK. Azir
strong.
just generally speaking strong, but not always showing up, so it's kind of like a in and out. It really depends on if Riot wants to give like Faker a little bit of a push, and he'd say, "Oh, you know what? We're gonna give you yours here, just for this Worlds patch."
It's possible. I mean,
Then we're gonna nerf him to the ground again.
it is a crazy patch. So like, I haven't had time to look through it. But
Oh, they
once
nerf
I
like
do,
everything
Yeah,
for
I saw.
bruisers.
I saw. So
Bruisers aren't viable anymore. Basically, they said, "Oh, okay, you like having health and AD? All right, cool. You can have both, but we're gonna nerf both too. So your items just give you less now." And they're more expensive because we felt like it. And we're called Riot Games. We can't have fun anymore in League of Legends. Anyways, first ban coming out from Oklahoma is going to be the Corki. Corki, ADC, mid lane, of course. Classic, good ban. Saints will answer with the Skarner ban. Ooh, Skarner. Okay, we saw Maddie play the Skarner. So interesting that they ban it. I guess possibly a one-trick. I don't know. On the side of Oklahoma. Getting that ban in, though, Skarner does have a lot of coverage, so it is nice to ban it. Ezreal here coming out, so we're banning 2 ADCs in a row. Interesting, but they're getting rid of that poke, right? Corki and Ezreal are really annoying to deal with. Thresh coming out on the side of the Saints, going to allow them to kind of lock down which engages they're allowed and not allowed to have. Because again, so Skarner, really good engage, and Thresh, really good engage, right? That one hook that can just guarantee the team fight goes well. So really interesting to see what the Saints are banning right now. The Volibear coming out. I know Ricky plays a little bit of Volibear, but not that much.
no, I think that's more for Maddie in the jungle. He's known to be picking up the Volibear, so it's a strong jungle champion. Tank that CC, just like Maokai or Sejuani. So a good ban from Oklahoma. They don't want to be going up against that tank in the jungle. From look at things, Saints going to ban out the Rumble. Very, very strong top lane champion. Wins basically any lane and is always going to be good in those team fights. So a good ban from the Saints. Oklahoma Christian are looking to get their first pick.
Yeah, so here on the first pick, either they want to lock in that ADC or that mid lane, although, we're looking at probably an ADC here, the Varus. Poke Varus seems to be what's in meta right now, going for that lethality build. Going to be interesting to see. It's strong in the laning phase and has good damage in the late game, so it is a pretty versatile pick. The MF possibly coming out from the Saints, it is going to be locked in. So the MF into the Varus, it's an interesting matchup because MF has really annoying poke too with her Q and passive that just pisses everybody off. Her AD is so high, plus the crit from her passive. It's more annoying than getting poked by a Jhin when you're half health, because there's no condition to it, right? It's just, yeah, have fun. More damage. All right, the Lilia here going to be picked up by Maddie. I assume Maddie. Really strong jungler, that Q flash plus ult, and then Zanya is just perfect for making engages. So it will be a lock-in for that. Here, the answer is going to be, I would assume they're going to probably lock in either their jungler or their support here, just to kind of see. To answer the MF pick, right, to protect it. Okay, yeah, so the jungler here going to be locked in the Viego. Viego's kind of an interesting pick. In the jungle, it's What are your thoughts on Viego jungle?
I mean, I think it can be good if you play a pick style comp. So that Varus is a great engage for the Viego. If you can land that ult, Viego gets a reset, makes a team fight that much easier. So let's see what Oklahoma decides to pick next. I think they should pick something with good single target priority. Support here, maybe a Leona or something along the line. A Nautilus wouldn't be too bad. But let's see what they decide to go with. There it is.
Yeah,
a Leona is going to be locked in for that CC. And then I think on the Saints here might be Miracle answering with the Rel here. Alongside that Misfortune, some combos with the way he sets them up shouldn't be too hard for them to land.
Yeah, for sure. Here, the Varus Leona is kind of like it's a good combo, but it's not that strong. And the Nautilus here being picked up by the Saints is going to be perfect. Nautilus just has more CC, right? So it's a battle of both are going to hook the ADC. Who can keep the ADC annoyed and like the most and longest? Right, because you're gonna have Nautilus banging and like throwing all his abilities on Varus, and you're gonna have Leona trying to CC lock MF. So both ADCs are gonna be CC locked. Who is going to be CC locked the longest, and who's going to be able to deal the better part of the damage? That's what the bot lane is pretty much going to be. Here, looking at those bans, though, the LeBlanc going to be banned out, and the Smolder, ooh, okay, Smolder is off the table for the Saints. That is a pick they are very familiar and love playing, so that being banned out is kind of menacing. The Syndra going to be taken out, too, so, okay, here the Saints seem to be target banning the mid lane, which is interesting, mainly with the mages. I mean, LeBlanc isn't really in the meta currently, but maybe it's just a fear ban or something like that. And then the Yone being banned out from Oklahoma Christian. Yone, we haven't really seen the Saints play that much.
No, we haven't. Maybe Oklahoma just have a read on the Saints. And because of that Lilia in the jungle, they are scared that Saints might flex it up with the Yone mid. But I think Saints going to lock in their mid laner here. A lot of interesting choices.
Oh no!
And it's going to be the Garen mid into all the CC from Oklahoma Christian. It's going to be great, a great tank, and there's still plenty of damage on the side of the Saints. Also, they could flex that Garen top or mid, so based on what Oklahoma picked, your Saints have a really good chance at a very strong counter pick.
That's the worst part. It's like, oh yeah, Garen, it's going to be top. Wait, no, it's not going to be top. It's probably going to be mid. Because meta. The Darius here being locked into Ricky, which is going to be interesting. Usually Ricky's the one playing the Darius, but this time he won't get that opportunity. And the Talia probably going to be picked up here for the mid lane. Unless it's a Viego mid and we're dealing with a Talia jungle, but I would be surprised.
No.
This is going to be an interesting team comp. There is a good balance of damage, although a little bit on the AD heavy. Talia comes and rounds out that team composition really, really well, which is something that is significantly better than what we saw last match. Because last match it was just an AD heavy comp that the Saints were going up against. Both drafts were AD heavy. So they just bought steel caps and won, pretty much. But here, what are the Saints going to round up their draft with? This is going to be the top pack.
There's Jax.
The top pack. Jax is going to be picked top. Here, going to be locked in. Going to be interesting because Darius is an auto attack reliant champion, right? He needs that auto attack to stack up his bleed. Because if he doesn't have his bleed stacked up to 5, his AD isn't that significant, and he can't proc his ult for full damage. So Jax, a really good pick. It is a Ricky classic, so I'm going to be really interested to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, and Ricky had the counter pick, and he decided that Jax was the best play. So I think we might see Saints maybe around the top side of the map here. It's going to be two very aggressive top laners. So I think whoever's winning that match up top will kind of dictate how the pace of the game looks up in the top lane. And in the bot lane, I mean, Oklahoma Christian have so much single target damage. They have the Talia, Leona, Viego, and Varus, who after they lock someone down can take them out very, very quickly. So they're going to be playing around those Viego resets, and it's going to be all on that Viego to hard carry this game. If he's not very fed, I don't see how away Saints can lose this.
No, if Viego's kind of one of those feast or famine champions, if he gets behind, he's just really, really slow, and like he can't do much. Because by the time he gets his first reset, it's like, yeah, okay, cool, you got a reset. Now what? because he's not going to do anything with it. He's not fed. Yeah, okay, he does have a little bit of damage from whoever he took over, but he's going to get one shot one way or another, right? And Viego's kind of, he lives off of that lifesteal, so it's going to be a little bit hard if he gets behind. If he gets ahead, all good, but behind or equal, he's going to have a hard time. The other thing with the bot lane, Nautilus is going to dictate the team fights, pretty much. Because what happens is, if Nautilus lands the hook, Saints are probably going to win. If Nautilus misses the hook, or Leona hooks first, Saints are going to have a hard time. So it's going to be who engages first that's going to win the team fights, assuming everybody's equal.
Absolutely. It's going to be an exciting game. We're going to throw it to a very, very short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Game 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Sorry about a bit of a delay there. The game wasn't loading, but we got it ready now. We should be going into game any second now.
Yeah, we
had a bit of a that little break, before a match. It can do something. So hopefully the Saints were able to stay locked in throughout that little wait, and hopefully everything goes smoothly now. So it's gonna be Oklahoma Christian on the left side, St. Clair on the right side, and looks like Ricky will be the one piloting the Jacks, and it's gonna be Flocon on the Garen.
Yeah, it's we had a little bit of a riot moment, if if that makes sense. But looking at the runes here, Conqueror for Darius, Conqueror for Viego, Talia going for that phase rush. The PTA on that Varus is interesting. This is going to be an on-hit Varus, not a lethality, which is surprising, but I guess having a little bit of attack speed could make some sense. Going for that Leona, it would combo well with it. Leona going classic Aftershock. We're going to have a Grasp Jax here, which combos super well with the Sheen, W, plus his ultimate passive. Lilia opting for the Conqueror, going to be a little bit more tanky. Garen, classic Conqueror. MF going for that PTA 2, going for that extra damage. And of course, support going for, well, Aftershock on that Nautilus. So, going to be interesting to see where everybody starts. So here, I believe we're probably going to be seeing Lilia starting on her blue. Viego seems to be going for that sneaky steal onto the red, though.
On the ward, though.
It is on a ward, yeah. So the information will be given away here. Really semi-aggressive trades going on the mid lane, but Garen is going to heal back up with his passive, so not going to be too much effect, mostly to a disadvantage to Talia.
Yeah, it's interesting that Viego is going to steal away that red buff and even take away the Raptors. Maddie's going to go instantly flip the map. He's going to go over to the red buff of Trinket's jungle, and it's going to be taking that one away. So definitely an interesting start to game one here. We see a complete map flip. Let's see which jungler decides to go where. Should be the Viego coming down to collect his top side, and the Lilia should get her bot side, but Ricky's going to be taking an aggressive trade here in the top lane, gets a nice E there. Now Darius hits level 2, has to give up the prime a bit, but has to be careful. He knows this Viego could be top side. He's very far up into this lane. He's going to try and go for a trade here onto this Darius, but it's a good bait from him, and I think it's going to be trouble here for Ricky. Can he get the one from the Ghost? Is popped. I don't think he'll have enough damage with the W here. He will. The heal from the Darius, though, is so nice. It's going to be first blood going over to the Darius onto Ricky Lefeur.
Yeah, if Ricky would have had that Grasp proc ready, a Flash W could have worked out. Yeah. Well, could have been enough damage, but he just didn't have it up. So unfortunately, wasn't worth doing the Flash. So at least he saves his Flash. But yeah, an unfortunate loss there. He doesn't lose too much, though. He has TP, but again, Darius did lose the Ghost, actually. So that is definitely a worthwhile trade. Ghost having a lot more pressure. Like, he would have died anyways if Darius used the Ghost. So at least he forced out a little bit more summoners. Here in the mid lane, surprisingly, Garen actually can take damage from poke. I guess if you poke him enough, it'll eventually. Ricky here coming in for his revenge. Gonna poke Viego a little bit while he does the Gromperton.
Yeah, I mean, he can't kill him, so he's gonna get out, but he has that roaming timer there after the TP advantage, and he's pretty even in XP, down a little bit of gold, so not the end of the world for that top lane. I think if Viego got that kill, that would have been a little bit better for Oklahoma, so kind of fortunate there for the Saints. But the Darius is going to be sitting on a lot more items than this Jax. Has the boots and the longsword. Jax only has the refill, so it's going to be harder lane for Ricky here, as there's 3 members of the Saints helping out the Garen here in the mid lane. It looks like they want to rotate over to the top lane. Ricky's going to take a bit of a trade here against the Darius, but has to be careful here. Stacks are stacking up. There's 3. The flash forced there from Ricky as the Darius is taking full control of the top lane.
Yep, that Darius is level 5, Ricky is level 3. Just to give you a little bit of a perspective on how dangerous that was. You might think the flash wasn't worth it, but Darius could have followed up on that. So just the combo breaker, that is the flash, was forced. But hey, if he would have flashed before, he wouldn't have had it that time and he would have died anyways. So, worth it. Alright, let's see here. Mid lane, Garen is taking some poke, but of course he doesn't have a dash, so the minefield isn't very effective. Bot lane though, something's happening.
Yeah, Lig gonna get flashed on and is gonna go down. Does choose to flash away, but it's not gonna be able to live. And Miracle gonna go down as well. Double kill for the Varus. Can the Saints find an answer in the top lane? No, nothing's gonna be there. It's yet again the jungler of Oklahoma finding a good gank and getting a couple kills for his laners. So it's a great start for Oklahoma in this game. Saints are very confident pregame, but it's not the best start for them here in this game 1.
Yeah, no, honestly, one of the things that I realized for that gank in the bot lane was MF cleansed before the CC actually connected. So MF preemptively cleansed the Viego stun, but there wasn't a stun. So the only thing that was there was the bonus tenacity, which, don't get me wrong, 60 or 70% tenacity, very useful, is going to mitigate the better part of the stun. But if you can time the cleanse properly, as the CC hits, it's still going to last significantly less time. You can get away, or at least have the time to put in a little bit more damage, throw out your own CC. So, little misinput possibly there, or an early input, I should say, coming out from BMF.
Yep, and it's now going to be an uphill battle for the Saints. We've seen them doing it before. They'll try and do it again. Garen, now level 6, has a bit of kill pressure on this Talia. Nice little trade here for the Garen. As you said, he's going to be healing up anyway, so he'll be very, very happy with that trade. We can take a look at the CS numbers. Bot lane, the Saints are up. Mid lane, they're also up. Jungle is pretty even. Trinket is up a camp as the hook's going to come through in the box with Leona. The counter engage comes out. Good damage traded by both ADCs, but Miracle's going to be taken down a little bit too low there for the Saints. It looks like Darius wants to pick another fight here with Ricky and the Viego on these grubs. The Ghost is going to be popped. Ghost Jones does land down with the Q hits as well. That's going to be 5 stacks on Ricky Lafleur here. There comes the Darius ult. One more tick should kill Ricky. Ricky's actually going to be able to stay alive on 1 HP. The flash is not going to come through. Ricky jumps right into it, predicting the flash, and that's going to be a solo kill for Gorilla Jones. Great play from him as Oklahoma take the 3 grubs as well.
Wow, that was... I thought Ricky was out. I thought Ricky could have lived, but I guess not. Stuff happens sometimes. But here, Dragon is going to go to the Saints, so they are starting up that Dragon stacking, going to be important to keep in mind. The grubs are going to be coming up in 3 minutes, so going to be important to keep an eye out for those. Were the first grubs taken? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Okay, here, Garen going onto the Talia, going to take a lot of poke damage though. Brought really low, but Viego's on the wrong side of the jungle, so isn't going to be able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, Maddie's going to take away this red buff with relative ease. Miracle is on the ward here, but they might be able to catch up to Viego here. The ultimate's going to come through. Flocon has that ultimate ready on the Garen, or the Trinket going to flash over, or ult over the wall. Will be able to stay alive. Nothing else used from either side. Maddie now playing very aggressive. Ricky, even though he's 0-2, still taking some aggressive trades here up in the top lane. Guess half of Darius' HP here does get hit by the Q max range there. So we'll give a bit of healing back, but still, even at 0-2, Ricky's fighting back.
Yeah, Ricky hurts with that phage, has a little bit more movement speed, allowing him to take some pretty solid trades. But Darius does have just more sustain than what Jax does. All that Jax has in terms of sustain right now is the grass proc. Ricky here forced to ult out of just the sheer amount of damage that Darius can dish out. Noxian Guillotine is almost up, so he wasn't sure. Probably just a preemptive one, but now Darius does have ulti. So the second that he sees the opportunity, he's going in. Yeah, right there. Oh! Ricky, absolutely terrific. I thought that hook would land. Maybe verticality?
It was a good sidestep from Ricky. He's able to stay alive there. Oklahoma Christian taking a reset both top and bot lane. Everyone's still going to move out to their original lanes. Talia roaming down towards this bot lane. We could see a little scuffle here. That Talia ult so good for roaming. Will use that ward plant there. And will not be going for a roam bot just yet. Like getting a free play down here in the bot lane. I think going BT first item on that Misfortune. So See how well he can scale. Still a lot of time left in this game, even though Saints are down 4 kills. It's only like a 1.5k gold lead, so still a very, very competitive game.
Yeah, so taking a look at the items, just seeing kind of the quote-unquote 10-minute mark, we're at 9. Oh, wow, hold on. Big trades coming out here in the mid lane. Garen's going to cleanse that slow, though, with the Q, which is a funny interaction. Did you know that Garen had a cleanse for all slows on his Q? I never knew that until, like, a month ago. It was crazy. Like, I never realized it before, but anyways, looking at the items here for the 10-minute mark, Jax is on a Phage and a Spellblade as well. Hold on, we got a little bit of a trade here going down in the top lane. Nobody's gonna die though. Okay. Oh wait, that's gonna be a dive. That's gonna be a dive.
They cannot dive this. This will go terribly if Oklahoma try and dive it. They do get the free plate though for that Darius. He is up a level, so Ricky has to slow it down a bit, maybe until that Trinity Force, until he can really fight back. But the Grubs should be going to Oklahoma on the second spawn, as this Darius is just way stronger than anyone from the side of St. Clair here. The Garen doesn't have an item, and you can see the Blackfire Torch picked up by Amps as we get an engage onto the Varus. 4 people here. The flash comes out. The MF ult comes out. It's going to be Lig picking up that kill as Saints give up full prio on that top lane and those Grubs, but they do make a huge play towards bot lane. But it looks like Oklahoma Christian want to answer here. Not going to answer up in top, and Flocon is in there on the Garen. Spin to win. Will do a lot of damage. The reset, though, comes through for Trinket. Now Saints need to get on the run. Miracles tries to get out. Will get flashed on by Trinket. Maddie has to be careful here in Lig. They should be able to make it out alive in this one, but it's a good answer from Oklahoma as they get a couple kills back.
Yep, and may I bring your attention to the Dark Seal on Lilia. It's gonna be it's an interesting pick to have. I am not a Dark Seal enjoyer personally. I don't like gambling, but you know what? That just means Maddie's confident, and I like that. Being confident's it could just carry the game. Ooh, hold on here. The auto coming out from MF. It's a crit, but it doesn't hurt enough, as here the Lilia will need to come and pick it up if possible. Are those speed stacks going to last? Yes, they are. She's going to get that Leona is here in the top lane. A little bit of a skirmish. So 1 for 1 in the bot lane. Pretty good.
Yeah, 6 drops going to be taken by Oklahoma, so they were still getting something on the flip side, and St. Clair forced to use their sums in that bot lane. They do give the Talia flash alongside the Leona flash, but now nothing on your misfortunate. Dive going to be coming in top. Ricky gonna look to outplay this one. Nobody's hitting him, so Darius will have a target here. One more shot should take him down. It's going to be a 1 for 1 under the tower for Ricky, but still Trinket with those 6 grubs will do a lot of damage to the top lane turret.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say that's worth it for Ricky. He tanked a lot of what was necessary and got a 1 for 1. That's worth it in my book. I get Dove. If I go 1 for 1, that's worth it. Yeah, okay, they got a plate, but I mean, they were going to get it anyways, right? So definitely a worthwhile trade for the Saints here. The Saints' gold economy is looking, I mean, I've seen it better, but I've seen it worse. 22.4 to 20.7. The Saints could be doing better, but honestly, a 2k gold diff isn't that bad. It's going to be a little bit compensated for with that Dragon, although not significantly. The kills are Oklahoma-sided here, so they are at the advantage. But when it comes to macro, the Saints are winning. They do have both Grubs, and they do have both drags. So macro-wise, Saints are number 1. As here, there's a little bit of an engage. MF gonna get stunned up by the Leona. Nautilus going to do the exact same thing to the counterpart. MF ult gonna come out, gonna take almost out the Leona. Leona does end up dying.
Diego slept.
Oh, wait, Viego slept. Yeah, he is. Lilia gonna come in. W does land onto the Talia. Nice. Beautiful flash hook onto the Viego. Going to be a 3k for the Saints. Going 0 on them. Bleh, going 0 for their own side.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the gold lead back right at even, and Saints probably gonna go a bit ahead after collecting that ball wave. But great play from them. Ricky tries to get out, is gonna be forced to ult here. A decent trade for him, but Gorilla Jones gonna get all 5 stacks here. Jax in that ultimate, able to tank that better than most, but first turret goes over to Lig on CC. Has the Bloodthirster, is a 3-2 and gets the first turret gold. So he's gonna be up so much gold here down his ball lane. I think he's gonna be a big win condition. The fact that this Garen has been allowed to just farm farm, get the pryos, up a level at the moment, up a good amount of CS. He's going to be so dangerous if he can get his hands on that Viego or the Varus.
I mean, that's kind of the thing. Garen is an assassin disguised as a bruiser, right? Let's be honest, he doesn't need to build assassin items to one-shot somebody. He presses Q, he presses flash, he clicks on somebody, he presses his spin button, and then he presses R. It's a very simple combo, and 90% of the cast will die to that every time. So there's not much effort that needs to go into it. As long as Garen is present, there is a threat. But here, as we are looking, Herald is going to go to Oklahoma Christian. Kind of what I was talking about in the pregame, about the Herald not being the biggest priority. Here, Saints are going to give it up for what is possibly going to be a pick on the Leo. Oh, no, okay. Talia is able to boop the Garen off, but definitely took a big amount of damage, going to push her out of the lane. The Saints are in the lead.
Yeah, they're going to get that tier 2 balling from Lucasing's Garen. Just going to be free hitting that one as the Talia forced to back up. Ricky just has to be very careful here. Viego is right here, but he flashes right into the stun. Can Ricky get out? He's going to look for the 1-for-1, but the Darius healing is way too much. Ricky going to go down for a 4th time here. Unfortunately, he falls in that top lane. Still Saints going to be taking that bot turn, trading for the top lane. There's going to be the ultimate coming in from Talia. Caught up is Miracle's going to ult back, but Lake is right in the middle of everybody. He's going to be able to trade it back on Varus. No, he won't be able to find that either. A couple more kills. Go over to Oklahoma Christian. They might look to end the game here with the Rift Herald. They're going to take the top turret. They're going to take the top inhibitor. And it's only 2 members from the Saints left alive here. But it is a very, very early inhibitor, which they're not going to take. They're going to drive this Rift Herald over to the mid lane. They don't get the crash. Some drunk driving there. But Saints going to look to TP in onto this play. Ricky coming in alongside Flocon. They're not going to go into Leona. They want this Varus, who doesn't flash in time. Yes, he does. Gets out Gorilla Jones, though. Doesn't have much. Only has the Ghost. Will he be able to get alive here? Let's see, Ricky looking to flash here. Yeah, yes, finds it. They should be a kill. I think they have the Garen ultimate ready. Ricky going to be forced to flash onto this Darius. One more Q should do the trick, and the Ghost now going to be expanded there. Will get taken down. Saints find a play on the receiver as they find this Talia as well, who has flash. The ult for Maddie will come through afterwards. A nice play from him. The kill should come through. There it is. This Viego has to be careful here. Ricky is going to get a lot of damage. Just Saints pressing so much aggression here allows their misfortune to free farm even after falling it early.
Yep, so taking a look at the items here, Jax finally has the Triforce and Merc Treads. Lilia with that Leandries and Merc Treads. Okay, are there any more Merc Treads? Yes, actually, Nautilus also has Merc Treads and Locket. So onto the champions that don't have Merc Treads. We have Garen with attack speed boots, because Bruiser, by the way, and that Stridebreaker, and MF, of course, going for that BT, and has the Essence Reaver. So MF has a good amount of gold right now on 2 items. On the side of Oklahoma Christian, there is the Darius with that Stridebreaker and the Merc Treads, Viego with Divine Sunderer, and Kraken Slayer, but does not have boots completed just yet. Torch thingy, I forget the name of.
Blackfire Torch.
Blackfire Torch, thank you. On the Talia, along with some Ionian Boots Lucidity, but hold on, there is a fight going on in the river right here as Miracle takes out that Leona. Beautiful MF ult right over the wall, going to get so much damage down. Garen gets the Viego, Jax lands it on to Gorilla Jones, and here not much left as everybody's kind of left low. Varus is squishy, so he doesn't want to engage too much, and Ricky was 1 HP.
Yeah, it's going to be a great team fight for the Saints. 3-0, they pick up their 3rd dragon, put themselves on soul point here. That's Flocon, just going to sprint down to this ball, and I don't think he'll be able to get this tower as the Leona does show up, so he'll be backing up, but still, Saints with a beautiful fight. You can see when Saints engage first, that's how they win these fights. If they don't allow the Viego a reset, it's looking good for them. And now this Viego, he was a bit accelerated earlier into the game, but now he's going to be slowing down. Saints going to take so much standing goal on the map, and there goes the Leona ultimate onto this misfortune. But a summoner has been disconnected, and I think we're going to be going over to us. Game crashed. Maybe a player disconnected.
Not again.
That is a absolute tragedy. But speaking of that, we're going to be right back into game. Thankfully, there goes the Dragon. We're looking good. Saints are looking good as they're up 1.5k gold here.
Riot has a great game, but sometimes it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Anyways, Ricky here kind of getting caught up by the Talia, waiting for the mines to go away, gonna get a good burst onto her, but not much is able to be done as those rocks just keep on pelting him. They're really annoying, aren't they?
I mean, as a Jax, you don't want to get hit by too many of those, and one too many rocks takes Ricky down. Having a bit of a rough game up in this top lane, but still 3 and 5 on this Jax, working towards that second item. It's gonna be an engage here coming in from Oklahoma. They should be able to pick up this Nautilus relatively easy. Saints down a member, walk into their own jungle, get caught out. Now Oklahoma Christian are gonna be back in this game, and they might look to be starting up this Baron, but I think with Ricky's TP, this is a very dangerous call.
I don't know. Miracle is down right now, so I don't think that they would... Okay, never mind. The Saints are going to prove me wrong. They do end up taking this fight. The MF ult takes down the Varus pretty much. Baron might even finish it off. As here, Garen spin to win, but that's actually Viego. Is it also Nico? Maybe not. Okay, MF here getting the pick onto the Talia, going to use the cleanse to try and get rid of the CC, but not going to manage much. So here... I wouldn't say that trade was worth it for the Saints, but hey, I mean, more gold on MF is more gold on the ADC, and we like gold on the ADC. It deals damage.
Yeah, they were able to stop out the Baron. They did throw in a couple extra members there towards the end. Miracle not gonna hook here, I don't think. Doesn't have too much follow-up there. Saints are taking away the enemy bot side jungle. They should be able to get this tier 1 in mid as well. Nice amount of gold. Saints do have Soul in 3 minutes, so I think that's going to be the next real big thing that they're going to be looking for in this game.
Yeah, Baron or Dragon is going to be their objective, but Baron's the only one that's up. So it's kind of that condition of now we're going to have a vision war over Baron, but not actually going to fight it because nobody wants to fight Baron right now. And then once Dragon starts actually being a thing, then we're going to fight for vision there, and then we're going to take a team fight there. But then we're going to say, wait a second, Dragon's up, or we could take Baron since we wipe them. And then you're kind of stuck in that conundrum of, do we do Dragon or do we do Baron? But never mind, I was proven wrong. Oklahoma Christian decides to actually take that Baron. They think they have the damage and they think they have the team fight. To be honest, I also do think that they could probably pull it off here. Leona kind of running area control, going to land a lot of damage and take it. Not going to be able to manage much, but did his own for her team, which is the essential part here, as Oklahoma Christian does have the Baron. But Garen, of course, on that split push mission, Darius taking a lot of damage, gonna get picked out. Nautilus Hook does end up landing 4v1 and not going to win that. Garen forced to flash away from the Viego stun here. You know what? Saints didn't get Baron, but they are playing very well based on that. The side lane being pushed up really does mitigate most of the damage that the Baron is going to do. And here, the Saints are actually the ones sieging the tier 2 tower topside. Or were going to until that wave left. That's not usually how a Baron power play works.
Yeah, they're up members from that play, so they do concede the Baron, but they get the tier 3 bot. So they're willing to do that trade because that Dragon is going to be up in a minute 20. They want to have Prio down in that ball lane. So it was an interesting cross-map play. They were just a little too late to answer on the Baron, so they said, let's just get what we can here. Let Flocon push out that ball lane. And now Maddie, I think, is going to be the big player here in this next team fight. Has the 2 items, has the Zhonya's, the 10 Darksteels on this Ilia. Is at level 13, could cause absolute havoc. Doesn't have flash up just yet. And I'm not sure if that one's going to be up for this Dragon fight, but if Saints can stall it out till he has that, I think that's what's going to put them over the top.
Yep, and it might bring your attention to the MF build here. We had a double crit cloak for a minute there, which was really interesting. But no, that's going to be the IE purchased on MF. This is a 3-item ADC, 75% crit chance. Lots of damage potential here as Nautilus does end up landing the hook, but maybe bit off a little bit more than he could chew. Leona ult does end up canceling the MF ult, but not before a lot of damage comes down. Lilia manages to get her ultimate off too. The Talia airbornes both into the mines and the Saints lost Dragon.
Yeah, Flocon has been top lane this entire time. Saints just took a 4v5 fight, and they're going to be able to get a tier 2 top, maybe even a tier 3. No, it looks like Darius did back, so Garen won't be able to get too much there. But Saints, can they contest this Dragon 2v3? I don't think they're going to try. No, they won't. They're going to give that one up. They do decide to play the cross map yet again. The backs will come through from Oklahoma as this gold lead is 100 gold at 25 minutes. This is a very, very close game 1.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a big fan of the way the Garen's playing out. Like, it was a great champion for laning phase, yeah, very stable. But later on into the game, it's, you gotta get the team fight through, you know? You gotta get the picks. Garen is an assassin. So, like, just split pushing isn't going to manage much. You need to be in that team fight. You need to find, you know, the Varus or even the Talia and just get that good old flash Q. Oh, hold on here. Ricky actually gonna have to dedicate the ult to this, jumping away. That was an expensive trade.
Yeah, that Talia's way stronger than that Jax. Nothing Ricky can really do in that 1v1. He'll be forced to recall, so Saints gonna lose a bit of pressure up towards this bot side of the map. This Viego wants to look for the Scuttle Crab, but it's gonna be taken away by Saints. Maddie gonna look throughout that ball. Nothing gonna hit there. Just one of those balls onto the right target could spell disaster for Oklahoma Christian. It's going to be taking a lot of vision from the Saints here. Garen is up in the top lane, farming for free. Talia's doing the same down in that bot lane. But Saints are 4v5 on the side of the map. They should be a little bit careful until they're Garen split push.
Yep, we do have, if we're looking at the CS numbers, MF on perfect CS, which is very, very good. But as you move down and away from the ADCs, you can kind of see that CS number going away. Garen kind of keeping up, and then Lilia kind of backing down, and it's even worse when you're starting to look like Jax has CS that I would have right now. All right, Ricky didn't have a good time when it came to CS. Well, to be fair, Ricky didn't get to touch any waves, so I don't blame the guy. But that means that he's really low on gold. I mean, he just got his Divine Sunderer. Meanwhile, MF is on her 3rd item and still building. Surprisingly, Garen isn't that far back on CS, even though he's 1 and 2. 3 items already. Does have a little bit of a tankier build. I mean, I say tankier. He's got a Bruiser item, and an ADC item, which... Garen! But he does manage to have like a good DPS output, right? But again, he has a good DPS output. He needs to apply it to team fights, right? To applying pressure to getting the opponent off. If he just split pushes, nothing's going to happen from it, right? Like, that attack speed's nice, but let's be honest, you're not Fiora, you're not Jax, you're not Trundle, you're not Camille. You're not going to deal that much damage to turrets, right? Yeah, it's some attack speed, it does help apply those grubs, but it's not going to be a game changer. So having Garen in those team fights would be a more valuable asset than just tower damage.
Absolutely. I mean, he's still split pushing up in that top lane. It's going to be someone forced from Oklahoma Christian to answer that wave, and Ricky's on the bot side, split pushing as well. So Saints have the side lane control completely here, as Oklahoma definitely playing way more grouped up. Oh, there's gonna be a hook coming out onto the Talia and a flash. That's gonna be a huge pick coming out from the Saints. The TP comes through from Ricky. Is gonna look to chase it down here. Can they find anything? Leona's gonna get caught up. That should be another kill. But Ricky gonna get completely one-shot by this Viego. He does take the possession. Now Maddie pops the ultimate. The cleanse comes out. This Viego on the backline needs to die. There's the Garen ult. Takes him down. 3v3 situation, but this Darius is so fed. Saints have to run for their lives here. The Ghost is there, so Maddie should be going down. Can Lake find anything on the Misfortune? The flash from Girl Jones is huge. Takes down the Misfortune as well, as it's a 4-for-2 for Oklahoma Christian.
Beautiful engage by Nautilus. I mean, Miracle just made a miracle. The follow-up was great until they overextended. Honestly, the first part was great, and then once they got into that part mid where Jax goes in, that was a little too far, and then the team fight wasn't in their favor anymore. If they would have just taken the pick and stood to it, it would have been fine. Here, gonna start a 2-man Baron. I guess that is it's not a bad idea. I mean, enemy jungler's down, and they have good damage, plus the boys are pulling up. So now they do have a 4-man Baron, going to be relatively fast. Garen not actually going to get picked up here, even though he is solo. He's going to opt to recall, though, so fair enough. Let's see here. What do you think is going to happen? Because, like, we have Dragon coming up, right? Or, well, Dragon is up.
Let's take a quick look at the replay. Ricky going in deep here. Flocon gonna not ult Leona just yet, which allows Trinket to get a reset. Now Trinket gets the Jack's possession, but he gets taken out by the Garen ult. But let's look at the life fight. Leo comes through. Ricky is on the Dragon alone. The steal will come through from the Viego, but the team fight is off and running. Maddie doesn't find too much on that Lilia. Trinket is up very far. Saints should definitely look to pick off that Viego. The ultimate comes out, and it's gonna be just a clean steal from Oklahoma. They're gonna look to get out, and now they definitely have the advantage with that Baron buff.
Yeah, okay, Saints here are in a really bad situation. So we saw it on the replay, right? That where the replay started was where the Saints started losing that team fight. And then the same thing applied this time, except this time it was pretty much already lost from the start. Wasn't really a team fight so much as it was they're going to be taking the Baron, thank you very much. The MF ult was good. It did land some good damage, but again, although MF does have a lot of damage with that 4th item, MF already at 100% crit chance, there's just so much damage you can actually do.
Oh, that's huge.
Oh,
That might just be the game. Lig walking up way too far in this Darius has done God's work. Blind picking it top is like a good idea for Oklahoma. I think they should be ending the game here. I don't see how Saints can defend this one. They have no range damage with Lig dead, and Oklahoma Christian are just gonna walk all over them. Saints had a chance in this game. We were even ahead at one point, but Oklahoma Christian just seems to be running away with it. They have 6 grubs. They're gonna be taking this tower so quickly. They do go on the engage. Ricky gonna flash in, but they have absolutely no damage. A huge sleep from Maddie on this Lilia, but there it's gonna be the clean ace coming through from Oklahoma Christian as they take the first game. They'll take a 1-0 lead in this series.
Yep. So here, the Saints have a game plan, but it didn't apply the same way that they had it in mind, right? In mind, it was good, but the application was kind of meh. First of all, only one range champion with that MF, so you're kind of just all in or all out, and you can't really have any in between, versus you're going up against a Varus, you're going up against a Leona that can basically say, okay, well, we go in when I say we go in. And Leona into MF is kind of not fun to deal with, because the second you start ulting, Leona says no, which isn't really effective for your uptime and DPS. The other thing that I really didn't like about the way that one was played was the Garen was great, but, and I talked about this, the Garen needs to do something. Just side laning isn't going to give that opportunity to take, you know, those technically 4v5 fights, because, well, Garen is going to execute the ADC, or Garen's going to take out somebody, right? Like, that's the whole point. You've got armor penetration on your spin ability. You can get even more if you get Black Cleaver, or, well, anything that's got armor pen. Like, Garen has so much potential damage, and he's basically just a Beyblade of death that you chuck at something. And usually you want to throw that at like the ADC or the mage or something that's going to deal a lot of damage, right? Because then, well, all you have to deal with is that other DPS and some tanks or a bruiser. But because in so many of those fights, right, at like Drag Pit, it was on the side, on the turrets. Well, those turrets are falling, yeah, but we didn't get an inhibitor, which doesn't give us pressure for drag. And honestly, tier 3 turret doesn't give that much gold. Tier 2, 100%. It's like, what, 500 gold?
More.
Like, yeah, it's more than that. It gives a lot of gold. It's worth it. But tier 3, if you're going to take tier 3, it's because you're taking the inhibitor. And anything before that just isn't worth it. So from that standpoint, the Garen was good in like a thought process, but the application wasn't the best. The Saints were a lot more used to having that like wombo combo with the Rel Smolder from last time, right? So in this game, it was a very different draft from the identity that we were seeing the Saints playing. And we could kind of see it in their gameplay, right? You had split pushing, you had team fighting, but none was really synchronized. So this was kind of disappointing, but you know what? It happens, you know? You live, you learn, and sometimes strategies don't pan out.
Yeah, they're going to look to do better in game 2. We're going to throw it to a very, very short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We just finished up game 1, just about to get into draft for game 2. What are you expecting in this game 2 draft from the Saints?
All right, here I'm expecting the draft to take the lead for the Saints side. Saints are going to want to lock in that Smolder. That's my opinion. So here, pretty much the same bands coming in from the Saints, although they will ban out that Varys. But other than that, pretty much the same Oklahoma. Same thing with that Volibear Ezreal, just in a different order. Here, let's see what that ban 3 is going to be for Oklahoma Christian. Going to be the Corki, so same thing, different order. With the Ezreal still in the middle, they basically just switched it around. They liked their comp last time, so that's good to know that they're comfortable. Banning the Thresh out again. So here, first pick is going to Oklahoma Christian, and I suspect the Saints are going to want to lock in that Smolder first pick, because it hasn't been banned yet. The Rumble, though, wasn't banned out, so that just might be what Ricky is going to have to deal with in that top lane. Rumble, a really annoying champion to deal with, but you know what? It's not that bad. There are... Rumble is it's a well-rounded champion. Wait, what? Jhin? I mean, I'm a big fan of Jhin. I love counting to 4. But Jhin ADC it is. All right, I thought they were picking top lane first, but no, they are picking the ADC, which is going to be very, very interesting. So here, Saints probably going to want to lock in their mid laner. As I was saying, probably Smolder, but could not be, right? They didn't go for the Smolder last time. Maybe they want to go for it now as the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is a pretty good pick into Jhin, to be honest. But very squishy. You don't want squishy champs into Jhin, right? Jhin loves that % missing health damage. So if you go for really tanky champions, if you can't get them below 50, his damage is pretty negligible. But here the Kai'Sa knowledge to kind of counter Jin's strong early game is a really good choice. Plus Kai'Sa takes those fights back to front. Likes taking those fights back to front, which is exactly what Jhin doesn't want. So it's a really good counter pick or a good response here from the Saints. But now we're going to have to see what Oklahoma Christian responds with, because here they probably want to counter pick with either the support or maybe a jungler that can support Jhin. Here, yeah, going to go for the Alistar, kind of to counter that Kai'Sa, or to try and keep the Nautilus off of Jhin, right? That headbutt can do wonders at just saying, okay, Nautilus, you landed the hook, but that's it. No autos, no depth charges, just go away. So here, probably going to be the jungler that's going to get locked in, just not to show too much of their hand. It's a very good just mid pick, because junglers don't really need to worry about lane opponents, right? You don't see each other anyways. But having a good jungler is a good choice once you know the bot lane, right? So here, the Viego going to be picked up again. Viego is not a champion that I'm very familiar with, but personally, I kind of feel like he's a well-rounded champion in terms that, like, he's in the middle, all right? He's not super good jungler, but he's not horrible. He requires a lot of resources, which means you don't see him too much, right? Because a lot of higher elo junglers prefer those low economy junglers. But here, again, Saint's gonna go for the jungler. So it's jungle, and then ADC, and support. Okay, this is weird. Why haven't the Saints locked in the Smolder yet? Because the Smolder was pretty much their win condition last time. But now they're like forgetting Smolder. Maybe I missed a patch. Maybe Smolder's in the gutter right now, but I don't remember seeing him in the patch notes. So, to my knowledge, if Smolder gets banned out here, the Saints are going to have to look for more damage. Because right now, Udyr has the ability to be a damage dealer, but usually it's just a Liandry's tank, right? So you don't want to build an assassin Udyr or a high damage Udyr. You want him to be tanky when he's in the jungle, or well, at all times. For those of you who build lethality Udyr back at home, I'm sorry, but it's just not a viable build. So here, the bans coming out, the Darius and the Camille going to be banned out, and then the Yone going to be banned out too, from the sides of Oklahoma Christian. Their last ban, not sure yet which one they want to ban now. They only have the mid lane and the top lane to really worry about, and with Darius and Camille already eliminated, the Smolder is going to be the ban. Because, well, no surprises, the Saints love the Smolder. So here, the Saints have the response. They need to say, okay, what's our mid laner gonna be? That's Please tell me that's not mid lane. I really hope that's top. But if that's a Scion top, Scion is basically just a big ruby crystal. Okay, or a giant's belt, if you want to be more specific. He's just a big ball of HP. Unless you play Lethality Scion, but we're not going to get into that. The Aatrox, yeah, there you go. An anti-tank into a tank. That Aatrox is probably going to be fed, and he's going to be lore accurate. So dealing with that Aatrox is going to be a problem unless we have the safest Scion known to man. But last time I checked, no matter how safe you play, Aatrox is going to be terrifying here. For the mid lane, Syndra is being hovered, quite possibly picked. Syndra, pretty well-rounded mage, very good range, very good damage, very simple. But that means that all of their damage, aside from Syndra, is, well, okay, technically Alistar is AP, but Alistar's not a damage dealer. So they have a full AD aside from that mage that is AP. So, really good team composition, very well rounded. How are the Saints going to respond to that mid lane? Because now it's a mid lane counter pick. So, you're playing into a Syndra, you do need some AP, right? Udyr is AP.
Yeah.
So, actually, it doesn't really matter. Okay, you know what? That I'd say that's a little bit AP heavy. Because they have Kai'Sa, which is hybrid, Nautilus, which is AP, Udyr, which is AP, Scion, which is AD, but he's tank, so doesn't deal damage, and Hui, which is AP. So they have a lot of AP. This is definitely going to be a big Merc tread game for the side of Oklahoma Christian, right? Because full AP, and on top of that, almost all their champions have CC that is mitigated by tenacity, right? You've got Nautilus with his Udyr with his stun, Scion with his stun, and then Hui with the little eyeball, well, the entirety of the E. All three abilities that the E has, because 200 years. So, yeah, it's an interesting team composition. Definitely going to see some early game mercs. But what are your thoughts on that draft?
Yeah, I don't think the Saints draft is too good here. I'm going to be honest. I think they put themselves quite a hard scenario here in game 2, but maybe I know Maddie definitely is very good on that Udyr. Udyr's not a champion you see too much, but Maddie, that's one of his staple picks alongside that Lilia. So that's a pick that maybe Oklahoma weren't expecting, and he might just run terror on this Rift. But it's going to be a hard game, as you said. That Aatrox is going to be so fed into that Scion, should be in theory, even if they go even. Yes, the Scion will be tanky, but the Aatrox will be annihilating the backline of the Saints, and there's not too much damage on this Saints side. I feel like, as you said, very AP heavy. I think it's going to be a hard game for them.
Yeah, I think the win condition for the Saints is going to be getting that Kai'Sa to a point where she's enough of a threat that she can melt the Aatrox before the Aatrox can lifesteal. Scion, first item, Bramble Vest. If I'm not seeing that first item, yeah, Ricky, I don't know what he's doing, but Bramble Vest, first item. Because you have an AD champion that is basically just a lifesteal tank. It's going to mitigate damage, it's going to stop them from healing, and it's going to allow you to, stay alive. Plus, the jungler is also AD, so that's going to help. So, first two items I want to see on Ricky is going to be Bramble Vest and then Steel Caps. Because if you have that, well, I'm not going to say you're not dying because Aatrox, but you're going to live a lot more. And you're going to be able to actually get that CS, because Scion isn't that big of a ruby crystal if he can't farm, right? All of his stacking is health, and it's based on the amount of minions he kills. So if he can't get those minion kills, he's not going to be able to get anything done. Now, granted, his utility in a team fight is for that ultimate and for that big Q, right? The airborne. But getting those abilities to land, let's be honest, there's a very big wind-up on the Q, and everybody knows when Scion is ulting. So the odds of you getting hit by that is pretty low, unless it's point blank. But again, if it's point blank, duration is very small. So you don't really need to worry about it too much.
I think they might even go for a lane swap here. Scion is a champion that they can do that with. So they had a bit of a rough start in the bot lane last game. They might just send the Scion bot lane and send the Kai'Sa into the top lane. So it'll be interesting. Unfortunately, I think the game did crash. So I think we're going to throw it over to a quick break until we get that sorted. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game 2. Welcome back, everybody. We are just about to get into Game 2. St. Clair, Saints going on, going down a game, and they have an interesting draft in this game too. How do you think they're gonna be up to this challenge?
I mean, they're going to be doing their best. Again, they don't have the smolder this time, so they don't have the ticking time bomb. So they're going to be having to play around the comp they have, the champions they have, and what they can do with it. So let's be looking at the runes first and foremost. Aatrox going Conqueror, no surprises there. So is Viego. Arcane Comet for the Syndra. We're having Fleet Footwork on Mr. 4. And, of course, Aftershock on Alistar. Ricky forced to kind of go on that Grasp route because, well, you're playing a Ruby Crystal or a walking one. Udyr opting for the Conqueror, of course, going for the more tanky route. Hui with... Hui. I'm rolling my R when I say Hui, but there's no R on the Arcane Comet. Going for Fleet Footwork on that Kaisa, and Aftershock, of course, on the Nautilus. Alrighty, let's have a look at the jungler's pathing. We're probably looking at a blue start for that Viego. Probably going to go for a level 4 gank bot side. As here we already have some vision getting cleared. Going to put the bot lane for the Saints at an advantage when it comes to XP. So they will get the first level 2, ideally. And the Saints are looking for an invade here. Going to try and take Viego's red buff. As here, Sion does have the kind of ability to go down, and it doesn't matter because, again, glorified Ruby Crystal. So here the Saints probably going to take the entire bottom quadrant and opt for a 4-man dive bot lane.
Yeah, I think that's going to be exactly what it's going to happen here. We're going to have to see if the Udyr and Sion are able to make their way up to his bot lane, but I think on this next wave, there might be a diving coming.
Yeah, so here Kaisa and Nautilus just have to force the wave as much as possible. And now Aatrox is probably coming to the realization, wait a minute, there's no Sion in this wave. And he's probably kind of calming to his team, okay, yo guys, you guys are 100% getting dove. So here we can see level 3 on Maddie already. Sion, Ricky is going to have the first little lick of damage here. So he tanks, he doesn't care, he can die. TP from the Aatrox going to come down. Q3 going to get the kill.
Yeah, and that's going to be Ricky trying to get back 1 kill. It's a complete disaster for the Saints. They're down a gold. The TP does come out from Aatrox, but he gets a kill out of that. Alistar got 1. Jhin, no sums now, but Saints used a lot to get to this one, as they might look for a dive here, but that was just a tragic play for the Saints.
Yeah, the Saints did not play very well around that dive. The TP from Aatrox was very, very clean, but here that does mean that Aatrox is going to be losing a good amount of farm and XP, right? Because he doesn't have the TP to get back to wave, and on top of that, whatever he did have kind of gets negated because Sion's going to farm it up, and now Sion is going to be pushing the wave. I am slurring my words for some reason. But here, Aatrox, funnily enough, decides to opt for the Cull, which you don't usually see, but Cull on the Aatrox is just going to be useful here.
And it's going to be an engagement in the mid lane. Flowcon will be able to stay alive on 1 HP, but another good gank from Trink as he takes down the Hui to 1 HP. Has to look for a reset, but this Syndra will not allow that to happen without some precaution, as there might be a gank coming down to bot lane. It's going to be it's just a 3-man here. Maddie is here to defend, so nothing going to happen here. The Saints look for a fight. They're going to find a hook onto the Alistar. So much damage go down, and they're going to look for the lethal, but knockups come through from Alistar. The stun comes through. Liggs on 1 HP. He should be able to pick up this Alistar. Hui does die in the mid lane in the meantime, but Maddie's going to find the stun onto the Jhin. I don't know if they have the damage. The Ghost is coming through. Miracle going to find the auto attack. Maddie going to find 1 more hit. Should be able to stay alive. Will live on 1 HP. So Saints getting taken down low. Will take the fight mid, but in the meantime, mid lane does die.
Yeah, okay, so here, Saints played perfectly. They just made up for that questionable dive. All right, Ricky here is just trying to farm. He's trying to stay alive. He's trying to get his CS, or well, as much as he can. Honestly, he's probably going to get proxied for like the entire laning phase, but that's fine. Again, Sion is a glorified Ruby Crystal. That's all he is. He's a big Ruby Crystal. The entire purpose of Sion is to just exist. So it's all macro-centered. Sion is there to... hold on, mid lane.
Yeah, there's going to be a gank coming through from Calm, Mikarios on Alistar, and Viego is here as well. Flocon does not have the flash, should be going down here. The Aatrox is going to come in and pick that one up from Look Things, but Flocon running away. Will they be able to pick him up? I think the Aatrox will catch this way no matter what here. The ward comes through, but there's the fear. Flocon looking to stay alive, and he will be able to make it out alive as a narrow escape comes through for the Saints mid laner.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think the fear would come back up before the Q1 would come out, but you know what? It happens. Here, Ricky actually going to kind of zone off Gorilla Jones from the CS, but that might just cost him his life. Although, to be fair, he is worth less, and with that slow, he just might make it.
I don't know if he's going to make this one. Gorilla Jones going to hit the Q1, misses the Q2, so the dive will not come through. Ricky going to be forced to reset, though, so might lose a bit of an XP there. And the dive, the gank here coming through to the bot lane for the Saints. Maddie doesn't have the ghost, so won't be able to get there too quickly. The Jhin should be able to make it live as Oklahoma withstand the gank.
Yeah, honestly, Wave wasn't too bad for Sion, so being forced to recall wasn't that bad. He was probably going to recall anyway, so honestly, good macro on that side. But here in the bot lane, honestly, it's pretty equal, but Kai'Sa does have the CS advantage and the kill advantage. So Jhin has good pressure, but Kai'Sa has monetary pressure. You know, it's kind of like the difference between I have a lot of skills versus the person that doesn't have as many skills, but like, you know what? I have money, so I'm just gonna make up for my skills with that, right? It's the, I have the early game, but I have more money. So Kai'Sa here is kind of looking a little bit cleaner, and all of the grubs are probably going to be going to Oklahoma, which is very, very good because they want to deny those grubs from the Saints as much as possible. Kai'Sa absolutely shreds turrets if she's building a lot of attack speed. With that Retrix, I do believe she is going to be going a lot of attack speed items because that Retrix builds into what I believe is probably going to be a static Shiv, and then, you know, Phantom Dancer, a bunch of just AD/attack speed items with a little bit of crit on the side. You know, it's like a side dish. Your crit isn't what you really want with Kai'Sa. You more want that on hit, and Static Shiv is definitely going to help with that. See, here the problem is Jhin doesn't have good wave clear. And the second that Kai'Sa gets that Static Shiv quickly, it's going to be a lot harder to deal with.
And Ricky's going to be taking a trade here up in his top lane. Gorilla Jones is level 7, has that ultimate, so it's going to be nearly impossible for this Sion to kill. But as you said, if he can just stay up there and farm up, it's not the worst. For lane, Aatrox hasn't had a reset since that first one. Ricky is sitting on more gold in his inventory, and it's going to be a gank coming out from Maddie. He has that ghost. Can they find it? Aatrox, the ultimate's going to come through from Ricky, but Gorilla Jones going to ult out of there. The Q misses, and he's going to be out. A gank from Saints doesn't work out as Gorilla Jones has a ward here. He knows Maddie's here, and he's trying to bait it. I think he might have walked up a little bit too far. The stun comes through. Ricky cannot find the Q. The flash forced out. I'm not too sure why Gorilla Jones walked up that far, but Saints get a flash out of that play.
Cannon. You wanted the cannon.
As the gank comes through on mid lane, Trinket gonna look for something, but nothing is there. Saints able to withstand some pressure. Oklahoma, though, doing a great job of keeping their advantage.
Yeah, so the gank topside was really good. Not only did they take World Ender away from Aatrox, they also got the flash, which is huge macro-wise, right? A flash Q is the best engage you can possibly have aside from a flash Q3, which is a perfect way to just see your entire health bar vanish. But here, Kai'Sa with a lot of wave clear and Nautilus helping out too. Jhin is just pushed in. He can't do anything, right? The traps are there just to wave clear. He can't use them as the slow. He can't use them to set up a stun or a root or anything like that because he needs them to wave clear. Ooh.
There's going to be a knock up there, but the W missed from Jhin, so not too much for Saints there. They do have immense bot lane priority, so this Kai'Sa pick definitely doing good into Jhin so far.
Yeah, for sure. And Kai'Sa has better scaling than Jhin too, right? Kai'Sa's more of that teamfight oriented champion versus Jhin, who just kind of pokes in, shoots one person in particular, and then walks away. And then, right, because Jin's a little bit of a tap dancer, right? He taps you, then he runs away. He taps you, and then he runs away, and then he taps you, and then he runs away. And that's his playstyle, which is really satisfying, mainly when you're playing attack speed, because funny movement speed. But it also makes it very difficult to play those leggy team fights when people are tanky. And if we're looking at the team comp, they're pretty tanky. You've got a Nautilus, a Nudir, and, well, a glorified Ruby Crystal. So he's not going to be hitting any of them. Hui is going to be significantly... Oh, wait, I just realized. This is Hui against Jin, which means when they both hit level 11, there's going to be the special lore event, which means if Hui kills Jin before, or with their ultimate first, they get 3.333 Magic Pen, and if Jin gets a kill on Hui with his ultimate, he gets 4.444 lethality. A neat little thingy that they implemented, which is really fun to see. Although usually Hui wins that one because Hui uses their ultimate all the time, versus Jin, who kind of doesn't get the opportunity to just isolate one person. It's kind of whoever the hell's in the firing range. But it's going to be interesting to see who gets that little buff. Because it's not much, but hey, you know what? 4.444 lethality is something.
Yeah.
3.333 Magic Pen is still good. So it's going to be interesting to see how that interaction plays out. But we'll probably see it in the top right corner, I think, when they both hit the levels. Other than that, though, looking at the economy here, Saints are in the lead by about 200 gold, which isn't much. Grubs are started here as Udyr might be looking for a fight.
Yeah, it looks like Saints want to fight this. Udyr going to be popping that Ghost. Can he find that Viego? The Blast Cone comes through, but Maddie with that Ghost should be able to find it. The Kai'Sa ult comes through. Trinket will be going down here. That should be the Grubs denied first side of Oklahoma Christian as they're sitting on 3. Saints going to look to take these 3 themselves. Probably move down towards the Dragon, but there's going to be a solo kill coming out from EMPS in the mid lane onto the Hui on that Syndra. Did use that ultimate, but still, this Dragon fight now might be a bit more rough for the Saints.
Yeah, the Dragon fight's going to be a little bit more difficult, but the Void Grubs are what you really want right now. Those Grubs are so valuable, and even with just 3, it's a lot of true damage that just comes through and can be so effective. Here, Miracle being such a nice support, holding the wave for the ADC, or... Wait, maybe?
And the fight comes out that Miracle is going to get stunned up. Do they have the damage to take down Miracle? He's ticking with Argonite on 1 HP. Will be able to stay alive. Aim's forced to flash out as well. A lot of ultimate exchange there, but nobody goes down from either side. But it looks like Saints will be forced to back up a little bit. Flowcon taking a lot of damage there. Trades his HP for the enemy's HP. But a shutdown comes through. Gorilla Jones finds the solo kill onto Lig up in that top lane. That is huge for the side of Oklahoma Christian as they look to take this Dragon.
Yeah, this Aatrox is a little bit big, all right? We have 103 CS, which is on par with pretty much all the ADCs, or, well, all the carries, right? 108, 108, and 92. Solo gank in the top lane, maybe?
Yeah, Maddie going to be looking for a solo kill here. Gorilla Jones, Q1 lands, Q2 will not land, Q3 lands onto Maddie, and I don't know what he was thinking there, just gets absolutely demolished by this Aatrox 10 stacks away from his skull. He's going to be a complete monster, as Saints are going to look for another play on him here. Can Lig fire the W? Will that connect? I don't think it did. Aatrox will not be able to get out, though the Saints should be able to take down top lane. Big shutdown for Lig, as Saints get themselves back into this game.
Lig, the revenge of Lig. But here, very good. So the shutdown from Aatrox also going to Lig is huge, right? Because now you've got 500 gold on Lig. Plus, he's already got Kraken Slayer, probably going to... Actually, yeah, Kraken Slayer instead of Static Shiv. Interesting. Very good for damage, which, honestly... I don't see the point of the damage. Like, don't get me wrong, Kraken Slayer great on Kai'Sa, but why prioritize Kraken Slayer over something like Static Shiv, right? Static Shiv is great for team fights because it gives a lot of that wave clear, right? So you can push those waves, you have that wave pressure. On top of that, you also have some decent damage. But going for that Kraken Slayer first item is basically solely focused on, okay, I want to deal as much damage as possible in fights. It doesn't center around like that macro aspect of like, oh, I want to take turrets, but ooh.
It's going to be a Jin ult coming out on top, and in the meantime, there was a kill picked up onto the Syndra, and they might look to dive this tower. It's 1 HP. Flowcon gonna land that ultimate onto that Viego. Maddie going to chase that one down. Trinket's gonna be taking down the 1 HP, but they're not able to find the kill first. There does go down to the Saints. Maddie on the chase, looking for a stun. Shouldn't be able to find anything. Oklahoma Christian are gonna walk out of this one, but still the first turret drops to the Saints.
And Sion is recalling between tier 1 and tier 2 bot lane. Absolutely beautiful macro. How did he even get there? Anyways, here, lots of vision clearing, very good keep an eye out on that vision. Now, both ADCs are in the top lane. Kai'Sa does have that up. You know what? That's why they went Kraken Slayer first on him, because you get the Q upgrade first instead of the attack speed upgrade first. I like going attack speed upgrade first because funny invisibility go burr, but ooh, that's a trade.
Yeah, in the long run, not really too important of a trade, as Girl Jones will be able to heal up on that Aatrox, but I think he's backing for a big purchase here. The Colt just cashed in, the Rift Herald taken by the side of Oklahoma, so they're still making proactive plays even though they're down on gold.
Yep, so here, again, I was talking a little bit of the merc treads, right, when that were at that 15-minute mark. There were those merc treads on the Aatrox, so already just trying to mitigate all the damage that's going to be coming through from both the Kai'Sa and the Hui and the Udyr, right, because Udyr, again, it's magic damage, it's a tank, it's not... Udyr's hard to describe, because Udyr has good damage, even though he builds tank, right? Although, then again, a lot of ADCs would argue that tanks have a lot of damage. No, they don't. Just learn to kite. Personal opinion. But Udyr, even if he builds tank, he has good damage, right? The Liandry's kind of just procs all the time on the circle, and then you can go, you know, Sunfire Cape and, well, I mean, insert tank item here, pretty much goes well. A really good one is Abyssal Mask on Udyr, right? It saps magic resist, you apply magic damage anyways, so it's a good trade of like, I have resistances, I have good damage, but the downside is Abyssal Mask in this comp, I mean, it's good for like the Syndra, but it's not ideal. Now, in a team composition like this, do you know what I would have loved to have that's no longer in the game?
Nope.
Anathema's Chain.
Okay.
Because Anathema's Chain had this neat little thing where you could basically just decrease the amount of damage you took from one champion. But oh, hold on, your top lane.
Yeah, the fear on the Hui has to connect to Girl Jones. Has a lot of damage. The fear does hit the Q3. Won't be there. The ult's not up for Aatrox, so can't find the kill there. But a bit of dangerous play there from Focon.
Yeah. And here, the macro coming in. The Rift Herald is going to go through Alistar in the whip. Going to hit that turret, going to leave it on about 20% health. TP coming through,
and there's going to be a team fight coming in here. Ricky finds the knockup. They won't be able to kill this Alistar very quickly. He is very tanky. 3-man knockup. Maddie going to get taken down first. A kill goes down onto the Alistar. Gorilla Jones on 1 HP. Viego falls down. Gorilla Jones falls down. Where Miracle looking for the hook on Syndra. Finds it. Saints going to have a huge team fight here as they take down 4. They're going to take the Dragon, and they're going to take a huge gold lead in this game.
All right, so hear me out, right? The only reason that they took out 4 was because there was a Jhin, and Jhin said, no, you're not getting 5 kills. 4. Take it or leave it. Because Jhin, I don't know. Funny 4 joke. I have great humor as a Jhin main. Anyways, here, that's going to be tier 2 for Saints, which is huge. Going to lead to the Dragon. I'd say Baron, but it's not 20 minutes yet, so absolutely terrific work by the Saints to create some room. Although it seems they're not actually going to be opting for that Dragon just yet. They're going to recall, then they're probably going to go for it. Although the respawn timers are pretty short, before 20 minutes, so that will be another fight or another step they're going to have to take. Another challenge that they will have to deal with. Now, that being said, let's look at the levels. Jhin is 1 level off having the challenge, unless it's at level 13. It could be at level 13, but I'm pretty sure it's at level 11. Anyways, but yeah, that challenge, I really hope we're going to see it. If it doesn't apply, that would be unfortunate. Jhin manages to get the cannon with the W. Very, very nice. We love it when the cannons actually get picked up. Although here, Saints seem to have the prio for that Dragon, and it isn't really contested. Doesn't seem like it whatsoever. Miracle going to be placing some visions, kind of getting some control over the pit, but it doesn't really seem like Oklahoma cares about it too much. To be fair, both the Saints and Oklahoma do have 1 Dragon, which means that Seoul is a far way away, right? Because you're guaranteed that, you know what, Seoul isn't going to be, you know, on 3rd Dragon. So right now, this could have been Seoul Point if St. Clair had anything, but hold on here.
It's going to find the engage onto the Alistar. Do the Saints have damage to through as the Kai'Sa so fed? Knock up onto Miracle. Maddie finds time onto the Jin, but they're still going to be looking to find this pick. Nice Aatrox. Going to get ulted down there by the Hui. No one goes down just yet, but let's see. There's something on the re-engage. Looks like the Scion up in the top lane is looking for the Syndra, and EMPS definitely way out of position. Knockup is going to come through. The rest of the Saints are on their way. Ricky looking to find the kill, but might give this one over to the Kai'Sa as Lig is coming in at full speed. 1W should do it. Not going to hit. A lot of time wasted here by the Syndra, but should go down sooner rather than later. Flocon going to pick that one up as Saints get another kill onto the scoreboard.
Very good that the kill went to the to one of the DPSs, right? You don't really want that on your tanks, so really good that Ricky didn't pick up the kill but only got the assist. As here, Ricky actually still on his first item.
Miracle gonna get caught up here, has to be careful, does go down, the reset comes through for Viego, but the Nautilus hook misses. Nice flash there by Lig, and now the cleanup should come through for Saints. They find the Alistar, the Jin, and the Aatrox running for the lives. Jin gets hit by all the abilities he needs to dodge. The flash comes through, the cleanse still is there. Jin goes down, there goes the Aatrox, and Saints now running away with this one. Lig is dominating 8-1 in 0. Viego's on 1 HP, does manage to hit that one. Let's see if Flocon finds the snipe, won't be able to do so. Maddie looking for the follow, won't be able to find it. Still a mega fight for the Saints as they put themselves almost 5k gold ahead.
Most definitely. All right, so taking a look, Saints are very ahead in gold. They're ahead in kills, they're ahead in dragons, they're ahead in turrets. This is the angle the Saints wanted. You know what? I thought the Saints draft was pretty bad, but they're executing it very well. And that I absolutely love to see. They said, okay, you know what? We're doing okay. Let's play it.
Yeah, and speaking of let's play, let's have a quick replay of what happened in this last team fight. You could see Miracle does get caught out, and he does get possessed. Lig is able to flash away. If he got CC chain, it would have been tragic, but now the Saints just play front to back. They kill whoever's in front of them. Lig is just so fed, does such insane damage. Maddie's just sprinting at them, hitting everything needed as another fight brings out Trinket, taking out to 1 HP, force flash out. TP comes through from Gorilla Jones. They will cancel the Viego TP, and they will be able to find the kill as they move their eyes onto the Baron.
Yep, that's Baron. I mean, the second the jungler falls, you just call it. That's Baron. Instantly. And Kai'Sa is so fast at taking that Baron too, right? It's like the best ADC to take Baron on. So you can just, those passive blocks deal so much damage. Holy smokes. But, you know what? Oklahoma did a good job. They said, okay, that's Baron. Let's take the turret.
Look at the Scion trying to drift in. There's some drunk driving yet again. The Alistar will be here alongside the Jin. They should maybe look for the Jin, but they're going to just take the kill on the Alistar really quickly. Maddie looking to sprint this way over. I don't think the Jin will get a recall off. No, they do cancel that one. Should be another kill going to the Saints as it looks like Oklahoma are just kind of falling apart here. They have no idea on what to do with Saints. Just continue racking up the kills.
Yep. When the Saints are ahead, they play super well, and we can see it right now. They're playing clean. They have the advantage. They have the momentum. They know what they're doing. All right, you know what? We just took Baron. Let's siege tier 2 because it gives us a lot of gold. It's going to further our lead. So first things first, let's make sure that no waves come in. That's why Nautilus is there. Now, Syndra is pinned, so we're going to be able to divert whenever... Okay, I guess we're just going to... Yeah, I mean, turrets don't exist. Don't worry about it. We're just gonna walk through those as, yeah, Syndra, wait, Syndra died. How did Syndra die?
She just died on her screen as she walked up into the Kai'Sa, tried to find the 1-for-1 there, but was taken down, and now Saints gonna start to siege Jin. We'll use that ultimate, looking onto the Hui. They should be able to find it. That's a reset for side of Oklahoma. Now they look for the chase down, but nothing hits from the Viego. Saints still gonna keep on pushing, even in the 4v4. They have the Baron buff. Kai'Sa has just been free hitting down into its bot lane as the response comes through from Oklahoma here. Lig does get caught up, gets flashed on by the Aatrox. The Q2 is massive, and they find the shutdown. Viego gets the reset, and now Saints have to be careful. Scion finds the knockup. Maddie trying to some damage, but without this Kai'Sa, you can see how little damage they do. Gorilla Jones gonna be unkillable here. That's a couple kills for Oklahoma Christian as Ricky trying to run for his life. Miracle is on 1 HP, might be able to get out alive, but Gorilla Jones, as soon as that Kai'Sa falls, just becomes a monster as Oklahoma Christian down 5k gold find the team fight.
Yeah, Oklahoma here played that team fight very well. First person to fall was Hui. After Hui, you had Kaisa, and after Kaisa, you had Maddie on the Udyr. They went by order of most terrifying damage, and that is terrific. Because after that, you've got a Scion and a Nautilus. You've got 2 big Ruby Crystals standing right next to you. What do you do with Ruby Crystals? Well, you hit them with percent max health damage until they die. And trust me, that's really easy to do. And the only one that got out was Nautilus, because Nautilus has mobility and Scion doesn't. That's literally the only reason he got out.
Yeah, they let the Nautilus live there in the end because Ricky's just a bit of a more important target, but still Saints do have the Baron on that Nautilus, thankfully, so they are able to take this turret relatively easy, and Saints still are up 6k gold. It's not an easy comeback from Oklahoma, even from this state. It's all going to be on this Gorilla Jones Aatrox performance here to find this Kaisa, because she's so fed. 3 full items working on that Bloodthirster. Diego has to be careful in the jungle, does get caught out by a hook from Miracle. Can they find the chase on TP? Comes through from Ricky LaFleur. Maddie going to find the engagement, but it looks like Oklahoma will just make their way out. Almost a crucial pick for the Saints there.
Yep, that was, honestly, if Viego ult wasn't unstoppable, that was a pick. Wait. When did they make Viego ult unstoppable? Was it always unstoppable?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, you know what? Fair enough.
Oh, there's a stun onto Lig, but you could see how little damage they do to this guy. So when your mid laner's low level, the enemy ADC, it is quite hard to do damage as the full on 5v5 bot lane is coming through. That's a big stun by that Syndra General. It's going to be popped. Saints taking a lot of poke here, but I don't think any kills will come through for Oklahoma. Saints just a little bit too far ahead. Miracle is on low HP. Are Oklahoma going to look to chase down here? One overstep and the game ends. It looks like Saints will completely give up this position and look for a reset here.
All right, so can I point out really quickly, at the end of that team fight, Jin pulled up the thumbs up emote, and nobody gave him a fist bump. Come on. Like, they literally implemented that so that we could have fist bumps. And you guys gave them the thumbs up. Like, they left them hanging, and these guys have comms. I mean, come on, guys. Riot gave it to you for a reason. You might as well use it. Anyways, Sound here getting a little bit of chip damage, but not going to do much. It's an Aatrox, it heals. But yeah, team fight wasn't ideal for the Saints, but you know what? It is what it is. They got tier 2 turret. That's what they wanted anyways. The rest is, well, it exists. One way or the other, though. Looking at the macro here, the Saints are still ahead by, like, almost, not that much gold, actually. It's only like 8k.
6k.
6k, yeah. Thank you for the math. I'm very slow today. But here, yeah, if we take a look at like the big picture, right? Ooh, Sound Q.
Oh, finds a 2-man knockup. Can they find the Viego, or have they overstepped their welcome? Where is Lig? He is nowhere to be seen in this fight, and Saints still are going to be winning it. Alistar going to get down to 1 HP. Trinket can't find anything with the stun. There's going to be a solo kill by Lig onto Gorilla Jones. That could be all short. Falcon coming from the flank, misses the ult onto the Jin. Has to be careful here. Jin forced to flash the Sign ultimate into the backline, finds a knockup onto nobody, and the team fight explodes, but the Saints are just winning with their balls. They find the Jin, they find the Alistar. They're going to find EMPS on this Syndra as well, but actually he's going to find a couple kills. Maddie going to go down alongside Lig. Still, the thing does fall, the Syndra does fall. It's a clean ace for the Saints. They're going to take this game 2 and push it to a game 3.
Yep. Wait, no, hold on. Saints don't have a wave. They don't have a wave just yet. They might. What are the respawn timers? 10 second on Aatrox? I don't think this is game.
Maybe it might not be game, but it's very close to it. They are up 9k gold now. I think Saints are going to go for a reset, go towards this Baron, and close out the show. And Ricky's probably dead.
Ricky. Oh, okay. No, instead that's Flash. Ricky's just ratting around, you know. He's being a little grubbulon. He's taking a little bit more damage than he should. Anyways, okay, let's look at the macro here. So we've got Jin with the IE and the LDR, because again, wants to deal with those tanks. But honestly, the problem here is Jin doesn't have any move speed aside from that rapid fire cannon that he is working on. He doesn't have it yet, but he's gonna get it. Getting that rapid fire cannon is super essential because he can actually have some form of movement speed amplification along with a little bit of bonus range. Usually, you want to have that RFC like second item because it's so core to Jin, right? but he's forced to get that LDR if he wants to deal any damage. But Baron already going to the Saints here, and like, Oklahoma was none the wiser, okay? They couldn't do anything about it.
And now there might be a team fight coming through here. So much damage. Onto the Jin, the hook lands onto the Alistar. Alistar taking that to 1 HP. Miracle has to be careful. Jin comes outside, ultimate into the backline, finds a knock up onto a couple, and the Saints are just going to completely run over them. Kaiser finding a couple. Aatrox's going to fall as well. Trinket on 1 HP, gets hit by that W, will not be able to survive for too much longer, you have to think, but Lig is going to chase too hard. Maddie does fall down to the Syndra, but the Syndra does fall, and it looks like that might be all showed. Saints have a wave. Trinket having a rough time getting back to base. Lig just has to run it down mid, and the Saints will end the game, but with all these death timers, I don't think Oklahoma have any chance of saving this game.
Nope, I mean, right now, Viego is the only one. Oh, yeah, the recall just got canceled by Kaisa W. Yeah, it's over. It's over. Viego is the only one that could have possibly saved it, but with Kaisa hunting him down, he couldn't do anything. So here we can just see it. Yeah, there goes. The Nexus falls. Alistar tries to do what he can, but it's not. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Saints win this one, and that is 1-1. So that means we're going to be going to a game 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely, Saints way more dominant in that game. The level 1 dive is going to be looked at again. I think that was not their proudest moment.
Misinput.
A bit of a misinput, but they turned around quickly. Lig on that Kaisa, got all the kills needed, and just completely carried that game with the damage. You can see the only time Lig really died was when Saints had a trouble in teamfight, but when Lig was there giving out the constant DPS, it was pretty easy for them, and they tapped the series at 1 apiece.
Yeah, it was. We saw it really at the last team fight, right? The Saints just turned into a ball of death with like a Kaisa and a Hui peeking out of it. Like, it looked like a Mickey Mouse, okay? It was literally just a big ball, and then you had Kaisa and Hui right here, and they were just kind of walking towards the enemy. And if they wanted to get to the Kaisa and the Hui, well, they had to go through the big ball of just tanks that are Udyr, Nautilus, and, well, Scion. So 3 big ruby crystals standing in front of you, and then your objective is right behind that. And they don't have assassins, right? I mean, the most they have is like Viego? Maybe? I don't know. And okay, yeah, Viego unstoppable dash, but if he uses that, it's % missing health damage. So he still has to one-shot the ADC or the APC. And again, he just uses ultimate to get into the fight. Now all the tanks kind of turn around and look at him and say, hey, you're not supposed to be there, so we're going to stun lock you to eternity. So now he can't go and one-shot the ADC. So who is? Well, it's not going to be Jin, because Jin's in his ult, and let's be honest, Jin versus tanks, not going to do much. It's probably not going to be the support, because, well, it's a support. Supports don't do damage. Aatrox can try, but again, that's supposed to be a QE, something like that. QE flash, maybe, to like maximum range. But again, he needs to get in front of the tanks before that, right? He needs to get rid of those or past them. And again, if he tries to get past them, he's just going to get stun lock. And the other thing is, Udyr has an AoE slow, right? So the dash range of Aatrox is shortened by that slow, right? Because dashes are based on movement speed. So you're going to be significantly slower at reaching those ADCs. So you just can't do it. And the Saints comp just works super well.
Yeah, it was a well done job by the Saints as they tied up at 1 apiece. We're going to throw it to a very quick break, but we'll be right back with Game 3 draft. Don't go anywhere. Nice. Welcome back, everybody. We are just about to get into the Game 3 draft. Saints were able to tie it up at 1 apiece after last game, and it was a pretty dominant game at that. What'd you like from their last game draft composition?
Honestly, the draft had a lot of damage. And before that draft, before that damage, they had a lot of tankiness. And that's good. You have a wall and you've got damage. It's basic MMO comps. You know, you had your tank, you had your damage. The only thing you were missing was a healer, but I mean, let's be honest, healers are obsolete in League of Legends anyways. RIP Sona. Anyways, bans looking pretty much the same this time, although Saints are on the blue side, which is going to be interesting. Getting that side change is odd. Usually you're gonna have like a switch side every time, but I guess somebody decided they wanted to keep their side, so you know what, it's fine. So let's look at the picks. Ivern, oh boy. All right, here comes the trees. So Saints seem to be looking for a different comp. We saw this last game, or last match, right? Last match, the Ivern came out, and the Ivern came with a Smolder. Having that Enchanter in the forest or in the jungle means that you can go for a funnel comp, right? So we could be seeing the Smolder mid. I'm really excited to see it. If we can see it, that'd be huge. The Xin Zhao going to be picked up here by Oklahoma Christian, I believe. Yeah, it's locked in. Xin Zhao is an interesting one. He got nerfed pretty hard. I won't say recently, but when he was in the meta, he got nerfed pretty hard. So seeing him again is interesting. Maybe it's a comfort pit. Maybe it's just like supposed to play into their comp, and they have something that's really centered around having like or Xin Zhao being a big part of that comp. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this one plays out. As here, 4 seconds left on the counter. Which one are they gonna pick up? Gonna pick up the Orianna. Okay, Orianna Xin Zhao, I can see it's a really good combo. It's not like a Nocturne Orianna, but it's still good, right? Xin Zhao goes in, dives, Ori ult comes in as a follow-up. Deals good damage. It's basically everybody come in and then everybody get hit by the Xin Zhao R. So really good little combo there, but I'm interested to see how it plays out. Here, the Saints, honestly, I don't know how they're going to reply to this pick. I guess they're going to pick mid. Oh! That I did not expect. Assassins in 2024? Okay! Let's let the Saints cook. Akali mid lane. That was unexpected. And then the Ashe going to be picked up as an ADC. Okay. We have an Assassin and then an on-hit AD carry. This game is going to be interesting. This game is going to be very interesting. Plus the Ivern in the jungle. Okay. Okay. Let's see, what's the response for this? I mean, they have an Ashe, and then they have an Akali. Xin Zhao's gonna have to cover the Kiana, because the Orianna. Ooh, the Jinx picked up for the into the Ashe. Okay, you know what? That's not too bad. That's not too bad. So here they seem to be playing for a team fight, a big team fight comp, right? You've got Jinx for the AOE, you've got Orianna for the big combo and AP AOE, Xin Zhao for that good front line and denies the ADC. Although, to be fair, if Xin Zhao gets blown up by the Akali, or if Ashe gets within that range, Xin Zhao is not going to do much. So here, onto the ban phase. Oklahoma is hovering the Sion ban? Okay, interesting. No, going to opt for the Garen ban. All right, Saints, what is the decision here? What are they going to want to ban out? Are they going to want to ban out something like the Leona? Something like... What's good? Nautilus. Nautilus is good with Jinx. I mean, pretty much all engaged supports are pretty decent with Jinx, all things considered. The Lulu can also pair up pretty well, although Enchanters are kind of never being used. The Camille is going to be banned out, though. So here, they're kind of just banning those top laners, although wait, I just realized they banned Garen, but Garen is a mid laner in the current meta, at least in high elo. So why would they do that when we already have the Akali locked in? That is an odd pick now that I'm thinking about it. Huh. The Malphite being the other one. I think they're trying to turn away from those I won't say brainless top laners, but those top laners that just have win conditions, right? Malphite, clean ult, we win. Garen, get a pick, we win. But again, that Garen is just picking my brain. Why would you ban Garen when in his current state, Garen mid is like the play, and we already have our mid laner? That makes no sense. You know what I mean? All right, Darius going to be the last ban for the Saints. Here onto the second pick phase. What is Oklahoma Christian going to be opting for? Here, they need to either pick their mid, or their top, or they need to pick their support. Unless it's something like an Orianna support. That is also something that exists. I won't say it's good. I won't say it's bad. It exists. But here, 3 seconds on the clock. They need to make their decision. What are they going to go for? The Cassante. You know what? Very, very solid
Olaf.
top pick.
I think Ricky's going Olaf.
Yeah, here the picks are going to be Olaf, Gwen. Although, does Ricky play the Gwen?
I don't think so.
Nah, he's more of like a big bruiser. He doesn't play the horsewoman of top
There it
lane.
is.
So yeah, there it is. The Olaf going to be picked out. One of Ricky's signature picks. He's going to want to get that lifesteal up. He's going to want to get that damage down. But most importantly, he's going to want to outlast the Cassante, right? With that passive. Just plays so well into Cassante. Here, last pick for the Saints. They need to get that support. Unless it's Hybrid support or, I don't know, like Ashe support. And then they need their ADC. But what they need to... Ooh, Nico! Okay. Miracle's cooking. I like it. Nico's great for team fights. She's really annoying. Oh, okay. Never mind. It's going to be the Nautilus. Nico would have been funny because we all love playing prop hunt, but it's going to be the Nautilus. You know what? Let's play safe. We already have a very interesting team composition. Let's lock in the Nautilus. One hook, good hook, and we're good. All right. Let's see here, though. Oklahoma still needs their support unless there's some weird off-meta support that has been picked in this comp that I do not know about. 3, 2, and 1. The Leona is going to come through. All right, fair enough. You know what? The supports and the top laners are probably the most like standardized picks I would usually see here. And then you've got some things that are just not usually going to show up in the middle. I mean, Ivern's pretty strong in high elo, but other than that, you've got some really weird picks just coming through here, like the Akali. Akali mid in this current meta is insanity. Like, you have to be so confident in your ability to get ahead in the early game and have an effect on the team fights in the late game, because don't get me wrong, Akali in solo queue, most terrifying thing I've ever witnessed, because holy smokes, 300 dashes and I can't even hit a point and click ability because, again, point and click abilities are skill shots when there are this many dashes. But if Akali can get fed in a high elo game and actually capitalize on it, I mean, we're looking at the NACE Faker pretty much. That's all I'm going to say. The only person I've seen be that confident or confident enough to play Akali in high elo team compositions was Faker. So, like, somebody is very confident in their mechanical skills, and I'm really excited to see them.
Yeah, hopefully it's a great performance from this Akali. It's going to be interesting into the Orianna. It was picked into the Orianna, so a counter pick. And as you said, if he can get a lead early in this game, this Akali can definitely take over, just kill that Jinx over and over. That's basically the Akali's only job in this game. But if the Akali can do that, this game should be smooth sailing for the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, the Akali is quite literally going to be the bane of Jinx's existence, all right? You're going to be, like, Oklahoma is going to be, if everything plays out according to plan, Oklahoma is going to be looking at their screen, they're going to see their ADC, they're going to blink, and then Jinx is going to be gone. And that's what's going to happen. And then they're going to say, okay, well, how are we supposed to team fight now? So they back off the objective, you've got Akali with an extra kill in her bag, and we got a free dragon, right? So that's kind of the game plan. But if that doesn't apply, oh boy, because Akali kind of becomes obsolete when she's behind, right? An assassin with no damage, what are you going to do, buy ruby crystals? I don't think so. Your kit's not made for that. So you got to get ahead or you're going to do nothing. It's a feast or famine champion, and it's even worse when that's your kit. You know, you got champions that are feast or famine like Viego, where it's like, yeah, I mean, at least I have a stun. Akali's like, no. I don't have damage. I don't do nothing. Nothing at all. I'm just dashes. That's all I am. So you got to make sure that you are playing that lane perfectly, and you have enough of an advantage that you can one-shot the ADC. Once that happens, we're good, smooth sailing, we won. But if that doesn't happen, those team fights are basically 4v fights.
Yeah, the Akali has to be strong. It's an assassin. If it's not strong in that late game, not going to be too much value, as the only value she provides is just pure damage. And, you know, dashing, yeah, distracting the opponents, yeah, but, like, really the damage is what matters. If you can land those E's onto these crucial targets, that's going to be the way to win. But Ivern as well, it's an interesting pickup. Yeah, you said with the Smolder you were expecting it, but I was not expecting it with Akali as well. It's going to be...
Smolder didn't even show up. He didn't even get banned.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just doesn't exist.
Maybe he got nerfed hard in this patch. I'm not too sure. But the Ivern's going to be an interesting pick. Let's see if Maddie can perfect it again. And I think they're going to be playing around Ricky a lot. Olaf into Cassante is a favorable matchup for the Olaf. And I think if Ricky can even get ahead there, he can just run through the entire team of Oklahoma. And just, if he can kill that Jinx alongside that Akali, it's going to be really hard for them to play this game.
Yeah. Now, the other thing is we got to keep an eye in mind for, or an eye in mind. Ah, yes. We got to keep in mind or keep an eye out for the assassin on Oklahoma, right? Cassante is a very strong champion, and I mean, we all know kind of what his mojo is, right? He's going to walk up, he's going to say, all right, you know what? I've tanked enough. I'm going to go one-shot the ADC now because I felt like it. Right? That's his whole mojo. But it's really dangerous to deal with a Cassante because, yeah, okay, Cassante gets counterpicked into the Olaf. Olaf gets ahead. Great. Now, we've got an assassin that took out Jinx, and we've got a tank that assassinated our ADC. So now it's a 4v4, and if that happens, who has the better damage, right? And what's that backup? So now you look at the mid lane, well, you've got either Akali or you've got the Orianna. And between you and me, if I have one DPS, I want it to be Orianna, not Akali. Because Akali, again, is a diver. It's melee. It's not going to deal a lot of damage. Orianna, backline, let the tanks tank. And I'm just going to throw some autos. I'm going to throw a few Qs, move my ball around, maybe put a little shield, give a good ult, and you've got a good fight, right? There are two assassins, which means both ADCs are basically forfeit. So they're both going to run at the ADCs. They're going to take out the ADCs. And then, well, you kind of got to collapse in. So it's going to be a really weird game.
Yeah, I think Olaf with Ivern paired up, just that pairing alone is just incredibly strong because Ivern just keeps the Olaf off, and the lower HP Olaf is, the more scary he gets. If you can just stack up those autos in the team fights, it's going to be virtually impossible for an Oklahoma to take him down other than the Jinx. But with Unstoppable is going to be a very big part of this game. As we get into game, it looks like Saints are going for a topside invade.
Yep, but they are on vision, right? That little Ori ball was in the bush. They got vision. So now Saints not actually opting for the invade, just going to place that ward down in red buff, but that's going to give them all the information that they're going to need here. Oh. Now, wait, yeah, what was Orianna doing there? Going to place some vision? Does Nautilus have Nautilus does have sweeper, but it's not up. So
Flocon has to be careful here. Will just walk into the bush. I think he spots out that Orianna. Flocon is gonna start the fight on to hit Leona. Gonna flash onto Lig. Lig gonna cleanse that one away instantly. I think it's a good fight for the Saints. They are 5v4, and it's a tragic start for Oklahoma. They get the first blood onto the Ashe, and they're gonna look to keep chasing here. Flocon able to stay alive. They're gonna be able to take down a Josu as well as they keep chasing out. Miracle unfortunately picks that one up. Ricky should force a flash from the Xin Zhao here. The Q misses, but it's a great start for the Saints.
That's absolutely beautiful. Now, the only downside I see to this is Ricky's gonna miss a few waves. But I mean, you know what? When there's an invade, as a top laner, you kind of just have to tank it.
Look at Miracle.
Miracle's saying, I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna deny you your camp real quick. I'm taking a prance through here. Don't mind me. I'm just walking through. It's just, you know, walking around. Don't mind me. Ashe, though, getting basically the lane all to herself. This is great.
Yeah, level 2 on the Ashe, and they kill the mid laner alongside with the Nautilus. Maddie comes mid lane. They pick up EMPS very, very quickly. We'll be forced to TP here as Saints just complete taking over. And let's take a look at what happened in that first team fight. It looked like Flocon was getting into danger, but let's see what exactly happened. Lig did get stunned up, cleansed immediately, and then they have the Ashe. They're gonna be able to the long chase. Kyrios can't go anywhere. You can see Flocon just trying to stop the retreats as they find another hook onto a Josu, pick that one up. Trinket forced to flash out. Just a great fight for the Saints.
Yeah, that flash is expensive too. Ooh, team fight here in the bot
Gonna
lane.
get taken down to 1 HP, does get taken down. Miracle has to be careful to not fall as well. I'm not too sure how that even happened. Saints had such a great start to this bot lane, but all sums used from both sides. It's a great kill for this bot lane. Leona did pick it up, but it's gonna be a huge wave that Ash misses.
Yep. So here, oh,
That's another kill going over to the Jinx. Josu finds the one. Maddie's on 1 HP. Can't do anything about this one. Oklahoma Christians balling after a disastrous start. Gonna get a huge advantage here to start this game 3.
yep. But here, Ricky is just bullying the Cassante, just not letting him play. Flocon, though, is having a little bit of a harder time. Did have to start with that Dorn's shield, but does have the Dark Seal, so it is a little bit more AP to play with. But Dark Seal, again, very confident in his abilities, right? You already locked in a call, you might as well go all in and get the Dark Seal. Because, I mean, you need the damage. So here, oh yeah, that's the other thing. Akali has a CS advantage and an assist advantage. So that's already more gold on the Akali than there is on the Orianna. And speaking of gold on the Akali, solo kill, absolutely terrific. Going to be giving even more of an injection into Akali's bank account. And that right there is the bomb that Oklahoma is fearing.
Yeah.
Gank?
There's a gank in the bot lane. Miracle looking to get out. Lig has to be careful. No flash from Leona. I think he's able to get out in time. Matt is here for the counter gank. Lig is going to get jumped out by Trinket, but he's not under the tower. Lig taking out to 1 HP. They are trying to CC chain somebody under this tower, but the tower is just out of range. Leona's on 1 HP. She'll be able to pick up that kill. Lig's able to stay alive with those shields from the Ivern. They should be able to get this down as well. Jinx looking for that reset. Won't be able to find it as the kiting is perfect here from the Saints. They're going to get a 3-for-0 as Ash picks up the triple call, and Saints have blown this game completely open.
Oh no. Okay, so the Saints went from last game saying, you know what, we're gonna play Smolder and we're gonna scale to, yeah, no, we're gonna lock in Akali Ash and just win, cause we said so. Holy smokes. Okay, so, ooh, wait, hold on here.
Ricky looking for the solo kill here, finds it there. Beautiful flash will live as well. Saints just playing so well across the board. Flocon doesn't have level 6 just yet, looking for that damage, and low HP on the Orion is definitely scarier than Akali being low damage, because the Akali always has the kill potential at below half HP. But let's take a quick look at what happened down in that bot lane fight. You can see Trinket goes a little bit too deep onto Lig here. Once the hook hits, they should probably back up, but with the Ash Ivern, they're able to kite this forever. Lig does take a lot of damage, but there's a hook coming out from a Miracle. They're able to chase down the Leona, and the kiting here is so perfect. You see this is out, tries to pick up Lig, but just does not have the damage, and the Jinx trying to get the reset so desperately, cancels an auto attack there, might have been able to get the kill down, but the CC chain is too strong. Ash triple kill. Saints up infinite gold.
Ooh, wait, hold on. There's another fight right now. Another kill for Lig. That is insane.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma Christian might be a bit on the tilt.
It's Jover.
They might be on the bit of a tilt train. Ash is 6-1 this early into the game.
And we're at 6 minutes. That's a kill per minute. Holy smokes. That's like better than 10 CS per minute.
Yeah.
And Akali's just, you know, absolutely tearing into the Orianna. Yeah, so if there was ever an FF at 15 in the history of, like, collegiate, it'd be right now. Like, this is just... I mean, of course, they're going to play it out because it's the last game, and, like, they should. You know, there's always mistakes happening. But that was insane. I mean, look at the gold. 3K at 6 minutes.
There's a fight in the top lane. Ricky needs to find this Q, but he won't be able to find the kill. Gorilla Jones does survive with that ult. Ricky did even use that ghost there, so good trade for the Cassante, but Flocon is looking for this kill onto this Orianna. The Xin Zhao is here, but does get spotted out on a sweeper. Let's see if the Ivern can find the Q. Won't be able to find it. Nothing looking to happen here in the mid lane. Flocon looks to push that one in. Ricky in the top lane, almost finds a solo kill. Does get hit, but the Q. Kobe finds it onto Gorilla Jones. Yet another solo kill for Ricky, as he now is giga ahead in his top lane.
He just yeeted the axe. He's like, nah, catch this, bro. That was absolutely terrific. Alrighty. So, 2 12-3. If I've ever seen an FF in my solo queue games, it'd be right now. And look, okay, that Ashe slow is so annoying to deal with. Like, nobody likes playing into Ashe, all right? I've never met somebody who was like, yeah, Ashe, I love playing into that champion. It's so fun being permanently slowed whenever I take a fight. I absolutely love it. That's why I love playing Ashe when I play ADC. Because I love just torturing people. Because I was tortured by playing ADC. This is what autofill does. Anyways, maybe a fight?
Maybe a fight. Xin Zhao is walking down through the lane here, looking for a lane gank. They need to clear out these minions though, so he's not in vision. No, he won't be going for that one just yet. But every single time Ashe lands that W, there's gonna be the Ashe arrow. The hook hits onto the Leona. They have the Ashe slow. This should be a kill. More than likely, the Ivan Q hits through the minions. Nice Q there from Maddie. Another kill going down to this Ashe. Saints choosing not to do any objectives, just getting pure kills, getting these leads in these lanes, and they're having a great time at doing so.
Yep, they are ahead. Ooh, hold on.
They're diving this ball in. Miracle gets taken down to 1 HP. Daisy, she finds the knock-up. The kill on the string comes through the hook. Miracle from the backline finds it onto the Jinx. They're all on 1 HP, but they're able to survive as Saints are up 6k gold in just 9 minutes.
How did that not hit the wall? That Nautilus hook should have hit the wall. The code was just like, no, you're hitting her. I don't care, you're hitting her. Oh, hold on, solo kill maybe?
Oh, 1 for 1.
Okay, you know what, worth it. Worth. Oh, wait, no, that just lost all of Akali's Darksteel stacks. Yikes.
As Ricky takes a great trade in top lane. This lane, at this point, is quite unplayable for this Cassante, as Ricky probably can just 1v2 both the jungler and the top lane at this point.
Yeah, this Cassante is like, I'm playing a 200 years champ, and yeah, those 200 years are doing absolutely zero for you. Nothing. You're still getting bullied. I mean, okay, you know what? If he was playing any other champion, he'd be 0-4 right now. So he is living, just not as much. Anyways, so yeah, Ricky 2-0. Ivern 1-0 and 10 assists, by the way, at 10 minutes. That's an assist per minute. Pretty darn good. Akali 3-2 and 2. Your Ashe is on 8 kills and only 1 death with a 650 gold bounty. And then you've got the Nautilus, who's 2-1 and 9, for a total of 16-4. That's not good. That's. I mean, it is good if you're the Saints, but if you're not, you're having a very, very bad time. Alrighty, let's look at the items. Ashe already has Bork plus her boots. Akali. Oh, hold on.
Ashe arrow hits onto the Orianna. Do they have any follow-up here?
No.
The Ivan Q hits. Miracle's gonna find the auto. Flocon
No way.
needs to find something. The CC chain is so beautiful that Akali E does miss though, so Saints will not find a kill, but that Ashe arrow almost gave them one. And this Ashe laning 1v2, the Leona ult, that's a desperation one there. Maddie does pick up the Orianna in the mid lane eventually. Now the rest of the Saints are sprinting down to this ball, and I think they're gonna dive this one no matter what here. Maddie and Flocon looking to go win here, but it looks like Xin Zhao is gonna suicide here. Does get half his HP taken as Akali going very, very deep here. Has the Shroud, has ultimate, assassinates the Xin Zhao. Will be able to stay alive with an Ivern. The Ashe is here for the chase. Jinx trying to flash out. Miracle looking for an auto here. The root comes through. There's like a Cassante in this lane. He's going to be able to find the reset for the Jinx, but the Jinx does fall down. So does the Nautilus and the Akali. Leona gets taken down. Now this Ashe is just free hitting. Maddie might get taken down as well. The flash is there, and he does die, but the Ashe should pick up the kill onto the Cassante here, and that is going to be it. Ashe picking up every single kill on the map as Saints are just storming away with this gold lead.
Yeah, so I would say, man, that sucks. You know, the Saints did lose 3 people there, but every kill went on to the Ashe. Ashe is now 11 and 1. That's gonna be a lot of damage coming your way.
I mean, let's take a look at what exactly happened there. Every single fight seems so close, but Saints come out on top in the end. You can see Flocon way in there, does assassinate Trinket early, and now the Saints try and chase very, very hard, but this Jinx able to flash away, is able to find the reset onto Miracle here, and it looks a bit dull for the Saints here, but Lig walks up, takes down the Ashe. Yes, Cassante finds one in the backline, but Ashe finds a couple in the other backline. Maddie walks up a little bit too far, gets taken down as well, but meantime, while all this was going on, Ashe finds all the
Kill
kills.
Crash.
Olaf in the top lane took whatever he wanted, and Saints are up an enormous amount in this game. As a fight breaks out in this mid lane, TP's come through. Miracle looks to get out. Maddie gonna drop in the Daisy. Huge Orianna ultimate. Lig still able to stay alive though. All 5 members are here. Jinx ult comes through, but doesn't hit too much. Trinket will be taken down. Flocon is here on the flank, on the Akali. Can he find anything? Doesn't look to be the case, but still Saints now going to be pushing on these lanes. Olaf in the ball lane is taking a tier 2 in this meantime, and Saints are just winning this game basically 4v5.
I mean,
Oh, Daisy with 3-man knocked.
yeah, the Daisy's cracked. Oh my, wait, what's the Akali doing? Please don't, okay, whew, I was getting please don't dive under 3-man. Anyways, so just to bring to your attention just how fed this Ashe is, Ashe has a Bork and Runon's Hurricane at 13 minutes. You should barely have your first item at 13 minutes, give or take. And Ashe has 2 plus a crit cloak, because funny. So yeah, this Ashe is beyond fed, and the only thing that's going to be stopping her is like
Not much.
maybe the Cassante getting an insect or something. That's about it. Aside from that, it's gonna be a hard time.
I mean, they're looking for here. Trinket might look for the engage onto Maddie. The Orianna ball is on that Xin Zhao. The Ashe is going to get stunned up, is getting CC chain. They get the shutdown onto the Jinx, and now Miracle has to be careful here. Yes, Oklahoma commit 4 to this play, but they get the 1k gold to get onto the Jinx. Ricky on the flip side of the map, looking to get a soul kill onto Gorilla. Jones will be able to find there. Ricky is going to still be a monster.
Oh,
Yes,
Super Mega Death Rocket!
it's going to land, but it doesn't kill Ricky. Just a little bit too tanky. Takes down on the chin. We'll find the back, and yes, 1k gold does go over to the Jinx, but still a lot of work to do here for Oklahoma Christian as they're getting flanked. The ult comes through from the Nautilus. Flocon ults as well. Jinx can get taken down. Leona should be able to maybe stay alive here, but it looks like the Saints might choose to die this one. No, they will let her live. Still Saints finding the plays when they need to most.
Yeah, it is. Oh. No recall for you. You're going to have to wait 3.5 seconds because we told you to. Although, no, I think Leona had tenacity runes, so she'll be fine. It's only like a second and something. A little bit higher than 1.5 seconds, if memory serves. Anyways, tenacity runes, pretty strong. Yeah. So yeah, let's have a peek at the ADC gold difference. We have 9,500 to 5,800. That's like a full item and a little bit just for the ADC difference. That is significant. As ooh, team fight here?
Yeah, the Xin Zhao's gonna get caught. Maddie throws in the Daisy, and Trinket just one shot. Can't do anything. Ashe is gonna start to auto here. Xin Zhao goes down as well, and this Daisy is doing God's work for the Saints. Leona on 1 HP. Flocon looking to find that one. Might have went a little bit too deep here. Does get taken low HP, but look at that Ivern shield. No problem there. This Ivern, 3-1 and 15, 9 stacks on that Dark Seal. Wouldn't be too crazy even seeing him Agize this game. Would get stacked up quite high. This entire time, Ricky has just been split pushing for free throughout these lanes. The Cassante looks to go up for one wave, but the Ashe shows how much damage is done there. Nautilus lands the hook. They're going to be able to find the Cassante here. Miracle, though, is tanking the tower. Will go down here, but they're able to find the Q onto the Jinx, who's on 1 HP. Lig does dodge out on that Leona stun, and Lig can do everything here if he wants to. Trinket walks up a little bit too far. He's just going to get kited out here. Should be going down on that Xin Zhao. Pops the ultimate to make sure he is able to stay alive. We can see the pure damage of this Ashe.
Oh, it hurts so much. Okay, the worst part is Ashe could have done more. The only thing that was stopping her was the fact that she was out of mana. And oh yeah, the ult, just to make sure, I guess. I don't know. Now she's really out of mana. She's got nothing left. Okay, this Ashe is like more fed than me after I go to my grandmother's, okay? Like, that is just, your belly is stuffed for like the next month, okay? You should not be this fed in 16 minutes, but we are. And just to bring to your attention as to how confident the Saints are, we don't have one, we have 2 Dark Seals. Because we felt like it.
And now Ricky gonna look for the 1v3. He is so far ahead. Gonna find the initial pick. Now on the Orianna. The ultimate does run out, so he does get taken down. Flocon down will be here. Finds the E onto the Orianna. Orianna should get taken down here. Miracle gonna find a 2-man knock up here. Saints do not have the number advantage here. The Nautilus is gonna fall. Flocon should just try and get out here. Miracle will give up his life. Saints being a bit too aggressive. aggressive there. Ricky going in for the 1v3. Ultimate right now, just the perfect moment for the Orianna Shockwaves to come through. But still, Saints are putting on the aggression, are going to pick up this rift. And I think they're going to look to
Oh, yeah, right.
do,
Baron hasn't spawned
yeah,
yet.
they're going to do a lot more than just try and take a one tower with this one.
Holy smokes. 30 kills and Baron hasn't even showed up yet. That is insane. People are like, yeah, no, high elo, no kills. And then like there's 3 kills and then game's over. No, we don't do that here. We get 30 kills because we felt like it. Holy smoke. Hold on.
Flocon's fine. He can just run away here so fast. On that Akali, the Cassante ult does come through, but the E over the wall is good. The flash comes through though. Flocon will flash away. How many dashes do both these champs have? Cassante almost getting that one, but Flocon will get out alive as a near call from there. Now Saints gonna rift this mid turret as they are trying to end this game. Quickly, Lig doesn't
Wait,
have
are we gonna get a Shelly
mana
dance?
again. I don't think we're getting a Shelly dance. Shelly gets just 1 charge, and that's all she wrote. As the Oklahoma Christian are looking for a fight here, but Saints are just going to kite this one out. I think they should take this dragon, but I think they're so confident in their abilities to finish the game off here. They're just going to try and just 5v5 and just brute force the win.
I mean, we're at 20. Oh, okay, we're at 19 minutes and there's only been 1 dragon. Saints have been so preoccupied farming the enemy, they just forgot dragon existed. They were like, macro? No, we don't need that. We're just going to kill them. It's just horrific. Oh my god, I'm having a blast watching this. Okay, let's look at the items real quick as, you know, Saints take the drag finally. So Ricky is out here with a Triforce, a Stair Axe, and Steel Caps, working on another item. I'm not sure which one. Probably Death's Dance, I would say. And then we've got Ivern with Ardent Sensor and Moonstone. Akali with that Lichbane. I'm surprised. Akali seems... Oh, yeah, right. AP items are expensive. And then we've got the ADC with... Ooh.
Oh, that's not a good TP. The E's going to get followed back into the base. No, this is a disaster for the Akali. She's going to end up... Oh, no, she cancels it. I thought she was going to follow.
Yeah,
all the way to
yeah.
the base.
There's only a few things that you can use to cancel it.
Shroud.
Yeah, Shroud is one of them.
Oh, I was hoping he followed. It would be pretty funny.
It would have been pretty funny, but that's a big bounty. We don't want to lose that. The other thing you can use is Zanya as worst case scenario. You're just like, whoa, pause, boss, pause. Yeah, so let's keep on going looking at the items. So yeah, Ashe has 3 items at 20 minutes. This is completely fine.
The Xin Zhao build is not looking healthy.
No.
As a team fight come through, the Jinx is one shot as predicted. Leona got taken down. Now the Saints just gonna look to walk them down. Ricky should be able to find the Cassante here. He goes over the wall, but the double kill comes through for the Akali. Saints have a wave mid. They're gonna flash onto this Orianna. Nice ult there from Miracle. The hook should be able to hit. Let's see if he finds it. No, doesn't find it. A nice little dodge there, but the Akali gonna dodge the Orianna ultimate, and Flocon gonna pick that one up. Let's see if Saints have the firepower to end the game here. The respawn timers are very short, so they are gonna go take the Baron as Ricky solo pushes the ball in.
Ricky hasn't been in any of these team fights. He's just been sidelaying this whole time. He's like, team fights? Nah. Side turrets. Because why not? I felt like it. And it's fine too, it's lucrative, because like, the Ashe is so fed, he doesn't need to frontline for her. He's got Nautilus for that, so it's just fine. Oh, actually, he might be in a little bit of trouble?
He might be in a little bit of trouble, but the other team could also be in a lot of trouble if the Jinx shows up here. The Ghost comes through. The Cassante gonna fall down. Can the Jinx fall as well? Look at the damage coming up from Ricky. He's not able to find it. Flocon does find the teleporter. Can he find any kills off your Trinket? It's just not too useful on the Xin Zhao. 0-9 now. Having a bit of a rough game. Flocon going a little bit too deep though. Will get caught out. Another shutdown going over to the Jinx, but in the meantime, Saints gonna take the mid turret, gonna take the mid inhib, and they are sacrificing half of the map for the other side. They might go top lane after this one and try and pick up those as well, but it looks like Lig will find a pick onto that Orianna. The team here is so good at following up on these Ashe engages, and a couple extra kills goes over there.
I love how you call it an Ashe engage. She literally hit one
W.
No, it's 1 arrow, okay? This is basically just, oh yeah, I hit 1 auto attack on you. That's an entire engage.
As the Saints look to close out the game here, Lig flashes away, and this should be all Shiro, just kiting them to Oblivion. Trinket has no damage on that backline. So Cassante falls as well. The hook misses, but the game might not be over just yet. Just one cannon minion hitting away here, but there is the W from Ligon. He's going to be able to find the Jinx. Just spawn camping at this point. Look at the shields coming out from Ivern. Just gives like infinite HP, as this should be all she wrote. Saints looking to close this one out and take the series 2-1. The Ash Arrow, he lands onto Orianna. Can they find the kills here? Looks like Ligon is going to settle for what he got. Maddie does fall down for a second time, but the game is about to be over. Saints come back from losing the first game and take the next two in quite dominant fashion. They take the series 2-1 over Oklahoma Christian. They improve their record to 2-0 on the season.
Yeah, Saints' first game was like, all right, we had a bad time. Second game was like, okay, you know what? Little ball of death. I can see it going. It wasn't too bad. Third game was like, all right, you know what? I want to go to bed. Let's get out of here. And just, 20-minute game tops. In and out. It was just so fast. Holy smokes. Okay, let's break down what happened. Step 1, Ashe is fed because of a failed invade. Great start. On top of that, Akali starts off with a Dark Seal, and you've got Ashe starting off with, like, what was it, 2 kills? 2 kills off that invade? Okay, so already not looking great, but you know what? Recoverable. It's fine. Afterwards, Ashe gets another double kill, because Ashe, no, it was a triple. Was it a triple kill? Yeah, it was a triple kill bot lane, because since that was ganking. So yeah, because that's one of the things, right? Ashe is the epitome of, oh, you made one mistake? Yeah, that's going to be 3 kills for me. Thank you very much. Because that slow basically means you walk into my attack range, I can keep on attacking you to infinity, because you are slowed enough that I can set up my next auto attack before you can get out of my auto attack range, right? So unless you have a dash, a flash, slow reduction boots, so Swifties, or cleanse, you're not really getting out of that like slow lock. And the worst part is it's a slow, it's not a stun, so cleansing it isn't exactly worth it. Flashing out of it isn't exactly worth it. Like, it's not even a NACE slow where it's like, yeah, 99%, okay, I can't move. No, this is just like a 30-some% slow, but it's just enough to get you into the auto attack range. And then once she gets that fed, it's like, what do you want to do? It's over.
Yeah, I
mean,
you
can't do anything.
The Saints had their win con and they played around it, and they take the series home. Great game by them, but that's going to be all she wrote for us.
Yep.
Say thank you to our sponsors. We have Alienware, Tim Hortons, Subway, the St. Clair Alumni Association, the St. Clair SRC. Thank you to everyone in the back. It's been a long night, but we stuck in there. We got this series through. I've been your host, Theo, known as the Holy Juan, joined by Gabriel today. We had a great cast. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for some Valorant action. So we'll see you guys then, and have a good night.